The time has come for a new era of podcasting. It's Aqua Radio!
Hey guys, welcome to Aqua Radio, episode number 15. I have no clue what day it is because we were supposed to record like a month and a half ago.
25th.
It is the 25th. And I am your host, Trevin. And joining me, of course, is Warez.
Listen up, y'all biscuit heads. Aqua Road in your grill again.
Biscuit heads. Alright. Cool. So the intro, the way it started, we have to thank Bagel for that.
Thank you much, Bagel. You're crazy, man.
He must have used a voice changer or something. It's the only thing I can think of.
That's
but it was
voice.
Good.
Yeah, it was. I like it. We gotta play the whole thing.
Sure, let's do that. Actually, right now.
The time has come for a new era of podcasting. It's Aqua Radio! The latest updates of Maple Story and patches, NX items, drops, or anything of the like, including hotspots, newbie tips, the quest corner, the party center, and much, much more. So join our hosts, the articulate Trevin and the unflappable Warez for the ride of your life. Aqua Road Radio, the best Maple Story podcast on Maple Sea.
You know what's really funny?
What's that?
He calls me articulate.
Hey, I'm unflappable.
Yeah.
Perhaps that was a little sarcasm there. I'm not sure.
Alright, we got a long episode for you guys today.
Yay!
And actually, most of it is not us.
Well, that's good, because a person can only take so much articulateness and unflappableness.
Before their brain just implodes?
Yes. Boom.
Alright, well, let's kick it off with some news.
Lots of news.
Aqua Road Radio News.
Okay. First item we're going to cover is errata. Now, what the heck is that? That's when, like, a newspaper or fesses up and says, "Oh, yeah, we screwed up." Okay, so we did the recap of many patches last time, and we went over a bunch of stuff in an awful hurry, and we left a few things out. So I'd like to throw a few of the more important ones in. We talked about ITCG set number 3, pets, but we didn't. I think we may have mentioned it, but we didn't say anything about it really. Some of the highlights: you can get new pets, and obviously most everyone already knows about this because it's been out for a while. But this is where you could get the skunk or the white tiger. You may have seen them in game. This is where they'd be coming from. Also, there are available quests to make Maru weapons. These are some interesting looking weapons. They are not for, as you might suspect at first, or what I suspected at first, they're not for luckless, dexless, whateverless. They're for perhaps low luck, low dex, but there's a weapon for each class, and the interesting thing is I believe the first one you can make is in the level 10 to 15 range, but then you can get these feathers, and each time you add a feather, it knocks the weapon up to a new range, a new level range, and it bumps the powers up too. So
that's kind of interesting.
Yes, you can see these things. They're completely tradable, and so they're all over the well, not all over the FM, but you can find them.
And now, is it like a set number of feathers that you can put on? Is it kind of like scrolling?
Yes, I believe that they're 100%. They don't fail. So it's like 1 feather, 2 feather, 3 feather, and then it's done.
Cool.
All right, the next thing we missed. We talked about the Monster Carnival, but we didn't mention. Did we talk about coins? That you collect the coins?
No, we did not. But you get to trade them in for like prizes and stuff?
Correct. You can trade your coins into Spiegelman, and you can get various weapons. These are standard weapons that you can get elsewhere in the game. But the interesting thing is, at the level you're doing the Carnival PQ, you might be able to get your weapons a little bit earlier. But most people don't go that route. Most people are actually scrolling the necklace, and how you do that is, well, once again, we're covering something most everyone already knows, so it's more of a recap. The necklace itself costs 50 coins, I believe. Each marble costs 40, and it is like I want to say a 30% scroll, or maybe it's a 60% scroll. And each one of his succeeds will add 30 HP and MP. So if they all succeed, you will have a 90 MP HP necklace around your neck. And the sweet thing about that is, typically to equip an HP equip, you have to sacrifice something else. So you have to take off your int cape and put on your HP cape, for example. Mm-hmm. Well, you don't have to do that now. You've got the necklace. But the ones
and it doesn't expire or anything?
No, of course it doesn't. Nope.
Sweet.
Yes, but the ones that have all 3 succeed, they're fairly expensive if you buy them. Mm-hmm. I've only had a chance to try 1 marble, and it failed. Boo-hoo. Sniffers.
Well, better luck next time.
Right. Okay. Next thing we missed was an email that we did not address, and it was from Yo73. And he was saying, "Oh, wait a minute. We talked about Horntail, but is it like Zachem? Are there prerequisites?" Well, technically, no. There are no prerequisites for Horntail, but it is, from all sources, advisable to avoid him until you're level 170. You will die.
He's a big, 6-headed dragon or something, right?
3-headed.
3. Oh, Hydra. Cool.
Yeah. Well, to get there, though, you have 2 options. Mm-hmm. And so these methods of getting there are kind of like prerequisites. You can journey through the Cave of Life, and this is actually a party quest, and it's one that you will do, mister, someday, if you become a bishop.
Really?
Yes, because
eventually.
I believe there are 2 different important either skill books or mastery books for bishop in there. And so you'll see it advertised, in various places, putting together a Cave of Life PQ. Please join in, So, you might end up doing it. If you ever buckle down and get in game and train,
it's gonna happen. I'm a whole 2.60% higher than I was yesterday.
Woo!
I know. Look at me, all proud of myself.
Okay, but to do the Cave of Life, you need to do the Secret Transformation Medicine quest. It involves getting various items around Liefre, and what happens is it transforms you into a Cornian, and that lets you go into the Cave of Life. Now, your alternative to that is to get a badge for the badge of squad member, that is the Horntail squad. This requires you to do the War of Dragons quest. Now, both of these prerequisite quests, or what I'm calling prerequisite quests, take the same items. But the badge quest also takes a certificate from most of the other major bosses in the game.
Oh, what do you mean by certificate?
There's a little stone square that Zachem drops, for instance. That's your Zachem certificate.
Okay.
So you need, in addition to the other things that you needed for the Secret Transformation Medicine quest, you need that certificate as well. And I believe you need one from Pianus, Populatus, and Zachem. I think those are the ones you need.
You need one each?
I believe so. And that's how you make the badge. The badge allows you to skip the Cave of Life and go right to Horntail.
Oh, okay.
Now, I may have missed a few things. I haven't done Horntail yet, and it'll probably be a while, so I may have missed a thing or two there. But that's those two avenues towards Horntail end up being like prerequisites for Horntail. So there you go. That answers your question, Yo73. Now, if there's anything else we might have missed, feel free to send in an email and we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah, about that.
Okay. Next news item. Maple has supposedly have new versions out. 4 of them. 2 supposedly already exist, and we have confirmation on 1 of them, and 2 more are coming yet this year. There is a Vietnamese Maple Story and a Portuguese Maple Story that came out last month. Now we have an actual confirmation. There is definitely a Vietnamese Maple Story in beta right now. Shreven found the website, although it's all in Vietnamese and we haven't a clue what it says. Although the flash animation on that website is awesome. Also coming yet this year, there should be a SWA instead of SEA for Southeast Asia. There will be a Southwest Asia Maple Story, and then finally there will be an India Maple Story.
I don't understand why. It makes little to no sense to me.
Well, maybe they'll be able to play through their cell phones.
Okay, well, maybe.
I don't know. Oh, they must think it's enough of a market.
I mean, there's a lot of people there, but not. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes at all. I don't know. Sri Lanka might be big, and it might incorporate that as well.
Ah, yeah, that's a good point. Okay, next news item. It's a monster.
We got patch 0.56,
which I have appropriately subtitled, "Just when you thought Nexon couldn't fail any harder." Ah, yeah. Talk about your Maple drama. Okay.
So many things went wrong during this patch.
All right. The tests are... Okay, go ahead.
No, you take it away.
Right.
I'm going to start ranting in the next bullet.
All right. They put the test server up, once again, Tespia, for this patch, like what they're intending to do. Okay, but the test server like previously, the test server is supposed to run 1 week, and they take all the error reports and use them to get the patch ready and try and iron out some of these things before the patch is actually implemented. Well, as we all know, it didn't work out quite according to plan. Typical for Nexon. Alright, first of all, the download wasn't even available for well over a day. And finally, when you could download it, a glitch-tastic smorgasbord of fail appeared, and it kept everyone DCing constantly. I mean, I was able to use a friend's account that got in. Most of the time, I would disconnect before my character even hit the ground. You know how your character appears and you kind of drop a little bit? Before my character would even hit the ground, I was disconnecting. Now other people were able to get like half a map into the training camp. Some of them actually made it past the training camp. They were doing this apparently by going into the cash shop every 10 seconds or so. Can you imagine that? That's how I
don't see the point of playing a game if you have to struggle to play it.
Right. Well, anyway, they finally fixed this darn thing about late Monday, I believe, following the Friday that it was released. And then they had about maybe 36 hours of scheduled test time left. Yeah, fail again, Nexon. So, was it any wonder what was to follow? Yeah. But before we get there, what actually is it like on Tespia? I mean, not everybody has been there yet. Well, not everybody hasn't had an account accepted. Well, it's kind of like a weird mirror alternate universe of what we usually we're used to on MapleStory. Well, for example, Maple Island. I don't know if they've implemented these changes, but the maps were all completely screwed up. I don't know if they implemented this, but they actually took what's the training lady that you get to right away on Maple Island?
Mia?
Yes. They put her way out past that side town, Amherst. They put her way out past Amherst. You have to go all the way over there before you can start all these key quests.
Wait, there's a place after Amherst?
Well, there's a couple of hidden maps, but she's on one of the ones that I believe it's the first map past Amherst that isn't a hidden map, and that's where she is, or was, on Tespia. I haven't started a new character since then, so I don't know for sure. Okay, so everybody tries to get out of Maple, off the island as soon as they can. The goal on Tespia is to get to the Cody in Hennesis. Why? Well, because this Cody will level you up for free. He will also give you mesos for free. And he will give you other stuff for free. All you have to do is ask him. Every time you ask him for mesos, he gives you 100K. Every time you ask, hey, can I level up? He levels you up. So you go.
It's convenient.
You can't go into Hennesis on Tespia without hearing the constant sound of people leveling up. It's just non-stop, around the clock. Bling, 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 bling. It's annoying as all get out. Well, the idea is there to level up to 160, and you know I know why they do it, because they want people to get up to this level so they can test out stuff, so they can get everywhere on Tespia and test out things. So yeah, that makes sense. But I just found the whole enterprise depressing as all get out. But you know how I feel about things like this, so I guess that's not surprising. Other people probably get a huge charge out of it. Whatever.
Well, I mean, it's not like they get to keep the character as well. It's just for the pure purposes of testing.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's true. So what is the society like on Tespia? It's weird. Like I said, these people level like so fast. So you'll see like the character I played is actually my Maple daughter Nirma. It wasn't her account. She was also sharing with us. So she made this bowmaster. This bowmaster, level 162, has all sorts of skills. You can get skills from any class. I don't know if that's a glitch or if they intend that to happen, but
Interesting.
All right. So you're a bowmaster. You're level 162. You're wearing nearly noob clothes and using a
Holy symbol.
A beginner's bow. Yeah, and you've got holy symbol, and we're testing out the skill macros. So she's got skill macros set up that go bling 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 bling. You got 5 skills going all at once. But if you're a level 162 bowmaster, you can use the beginner's bow and be quite effective with it. So it's just weird. So there's all these people, you can't tell what level they are because they're all walking around with beginner stuff. And then there's a small group of people who got into the cash shop first and exhibited some unsavory human behavior. They grabbed everything. See, in the cash shop on Tespia, there's just one of everything. So the first people who get in there grab all the good stuff as much as they can possibly.
Was it free?
Well, yeah, it's free. But the thing is, just grab a thing or two and let someone else have some fun too. No, they go in there and they grab everything. So you got a whole version of MapleStory with everyone looking like a noob, no matter what level they are, except for the occasional person who got into the cash shop first, and they're all decked out and everything. It's really bizarre. And it's I don't know how well it tests MapleStory, but I guess it's better than nothing.
Well, yeah, it's just to make sure that they don't have glitches on the server more than
right. But I don't know how much it accomplishes that. A lot of people don't actually report glitches. They just go there so they can like test out Fourth Job or what have you. They got their own motivations for being there. Now there's a lot of people who do report glitches too, and so you know what, it works. So I'm not going to rant about it too much.
True. I don't see how they could do it any better. other than, putting a lot more time and a lot more money into it.
Right.
Okay, so moving on. Patch 0.56. 26.5-hour patch.
Oh my god.
How? Like, they extended it, like, 12 times or something? I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It was ridiculous. Completely ridiculous.
You know what? I don't care if they have day-long patches. Just tell us. So we're not going to be sitting there going, all right, I'm going to get out of school. I'm going to take off of work, and then bleh.
But it was extended by, like, 12 hours or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or, like, in total? How do you undershoot by that much?
I think you're insanely overestimating your capabilities. I don't know.
And then, after it comes out, after 12 extra hours of patching, there's like, the most glitches I've seen in MapleStory since I've started playing.
Yes, another whole glitch-tastic smorgasbord of fail.
It's inconceivable.
Yeah.
So I mean, you had channels crashing randomly. I know that like Windia had channel 1 and 2 I think crash, and Scania had channel 1 die.
And then it kind of floated around. Channel 8 was down. Channel 10 was down.
Was it just you couldn't go into them, or if you went into them, it'd disconnect you?
Both.
Oh, okay.
And once it went down, then you couldn't get into it. It looked like there were still people in there, and so you didn't necessarily know. You're like, oh, great, this one's not very populated. Nah, there's a reason why it's not very populated.
So yeah, they screwed that up completely as well.
Right. But you know what? They did try to implement a lot of pretty cool stuff. And maybe
we did get a lot of pretty cool stuff.
Maybe they kind of overreached. But you know what? If you're going to put all this stuff in, make sure you have your full test run. Instead of sticking to the patch schedule, they should have said, okay, we're going to take another week. We're going to run Tespia another week. I bet you we would have had less than half of these glitches.
Oh yeah, hands down.
But no. And we're dealing with Nexon here.
Exactly. So, new stuff. We got, like Warez mentioned earlier, we got the skill macro, which is beautiful. So, what can you put on it, Warez?
Anything.
Any skill your job can do.
Exactly. In any order. Order's important. I found that out the hard way.
If you get hit, the last one kind of doesn't happen or something, right?
Exactly, right. So if you're a mage and you're doing a macro that includes Magic Guard and you're in a dangerous area, you better make sure your Magic Guard goes on there first.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it might not happen. And you might think it happened and it didn't happen. Boom, you're dead.
Well, it's easier now just because they have the skill timers as well, so you can just always glance up there and take a look.
That's true.
But yeah, all in all, it's beautiful. It works pretty well, and the images are actually pretty cool. I like them, like the little icon things that you have like the choices from.
Oh yeah, and then you can make up little things that your character will shout as they implement too.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yes, and so you might see people saying weird things every once in a while, and they keep saying the same thing over and over again. They're doing a macro when they do that.
Sweet.
And people come up with some pretty creative stuff, too. It's funny.
We also got the Cash Shop keyboard shortcuts.
SFW. I'm not going to explain what it means. Figure it out for yourself.
You can if you want, and we can just bleep it out.
Okay. So, what?
Yeah, I didn't even bother reading these. Like, there was the site that I found these on, they had a list of all the shortcuts, and I was, yeah, who cares? Nobody.
And next, what did we have? Preview? For various,
keyboard shortcuts.
Oh, keyboard shortcuts. Now, what exactly were these again? I'm confused.
I think it was just more things like, would that would be things like you can talk to NPCs by hitting spacebar next to them.
Oh, okay.
Or something like that.
Nice.
Which I think is really nice, because sometimes it's hard to get that. Or, I mean, it might be really good for party questing. Because you can just hit spacebar instead of having to, like, double-click on the person.
obviously, I haven't had a chance to try any of these.
Yeah, I haven't tried it myself either, but I believe that there's shortcuts just letting you talk to people, and one other one that I can't remember right now. Let me see if I can look it up while you go ahead into the next one, Warez.
Okay. I guess we also got previews for new hair shop, plastic surgery, skincare. Once again, I'm going to have to say SFW, unless you're really into that sort of thing. I haven't heard any reports, though, on like what the new Arient hairstyles and eyes are. Oh, maybe I have seen one of the new Arient eyes. Kind of almond shape with a point towards the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that from somewhere else?
Possibly.
I don't pay
There's a
attention
lot of
to it.
places with a lot of haircuts.
Yeah, it's hard for me to keep track of them.
Well, the skin and hair shop and stuff. Not only did they release ones for Arient and new ones and things like that. The preview thing lets you basically see it on your character before you actually go out and buy the ticket for it.
Oh, really?
So you can like test out the hair with your skin color instead of like the default colored whatever, and with the NX you already have, things like that.
Okay. Well, I guess that is useful if you're going to change.
Even if you're not, it's just you just walk up to it in the game and it gives you something to do.
Okay, I upgraded from SFW to marginally useful.
Marginally useful, like butter.
Okay. Also, we got upgrades to our mini maps. Have you noticed?
I saw that like the portals look different.
Yes, yes, they do.
Which I do like. What else actually changed?
Your cursor is a blue diamond, or is it yellow diamond? I can't remember. And then there'll be different shapes for whether they're a total stranger, a guildie, a party member, etc., etc.
Oh, so, that does sound useful.
Yeah, fairly useful.
We also got a party search and party HP indicator.
Correct.
And let me tell you, being a priest/cleric, knowing the HP of your party members is incredibly useful.
Oh, yes.
Because you know who you're running to next.
I just wish you could relocate it. It just seems like it's down there in the way of things. But...
You can move it around around the screen. I have it up by my skills, right under it actually.
Oh, okay, I see. Cool.
I do like the party search though.
I haven't used it, but yeah, that'd be nice too.
I found a DK with it yesterday.
Sweet.
For you need a DK for Himes, or you just want to get a party together for pap or pianist or something. I mean, you can just advertise yourself up here, and people grab you.
Nice. I like it. Maybe I'll have to try that some more.
We also got this Guild Alliance system.
Some people are using it.
What's it do exactly?
Well, it makes two guilds as if they were one, kind of. Now you're going to have a different kind of chat instead of guild chat, but basically it overlaps your guild chat so you can talk to each other. I believe it's mainly used so that you can get two guilds together to do GPQ.
I heard rumors saying that you couldn't do GPQ with the other guild.
Oh, really?
I don't have any backing for it, but...
I've heard wrong then.
Yeah, I was just curious, because it doesn't seem like there'd be any other benefit, so...
Well, it requires that your guild leader not be very paranoid. You have to be able to trust other guilds. Our guild leader...
Is that a hint, hint, wink, wink?
He's kind of wary about other guilds, so... You know what? We're probably not going to be allied with anybody.
Fair enough. We also got item sort, which for some reason I recall having sometime in the past somewhere.
They had mentioned implementing it like 4 or 5 patches ago. Maybe that's what you're thinking of.
Could you item sort the cash shop items?
Maybe.
That you buy? No.
I don't think so. Maybe there was
Anyway, regardless, it is actually quite beautiful because it lets you keep all your specific kinds of potions together. It's just a good way to keep inventory.
Right. Well, I was used to it. It also has its own sort of priority, and it's not one that you can customize. So if you're really used to the way your inventory is set up, and you click on this thing just out of curiosity, boom, it's all screwed up. So it annoyed me a little bit, but I do use it in the storage guy because you can do the same thing in the storage guy.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put a bunch of like a bunch of potions in there, and then you put something else in there, and then you put some more potions, they're still separated. So there's two different groups of potions. So it's very useful there, where you can like put all those potions together.
Right.
So I do use it. I do use it with the storage guy. And then last but not least, window mode. Good God, yes, thank you very much for this thing. An infinite and self-evident good. Well, it's a little glitchy, and I hope hackers don't figure out how to use it, but I don't think that's really likely. I mean, many of the classic hacks were based in part on illicit windowed mode, but I don't think it's really going to be a problem that way.
Doesn't it take up like insane amounts of cache or RAM or something?
It does, and I am enough to be quite noticeable. You'll get a lot more lag. At least I have. I still use it though because it is so very useful.
Because of
so I can be chatting and playing Maple at the same time, for example.
I am right.
Yes, I can change
one
music.
of the 7 wonders of the world.
I can change my music without having to alt tab out of
yes.
Maple. All sorts of things like this.
Fair enough. We actually got a voicemail from Aaron, who had a complaint about windowed mode.
Ooh.
Let's go ahead and play that now.
Sounds good.
Hey, Shrevin and Warez. This is Aaron, aka Croy15 from the Wendy's. And after 24 plus hours, they are finally patched. Overall, though, I think the patch was good, especially for the lower ones. They have areas now that's limited for their current PQ items. I found the new features of this patch quite amusing, especially being able to set up abilities in order and naming them with whatever creative function you can think of. But alas, with this patch also came its boots. You can't click on your buddies' names or change the guild lists. My friend also told me about his solo trip into the Rudy Maze PQ where he had all the monsters to himself. And of course, the window feature. I like it, but I guess Exxon didn't have enough advertisements on the website, TV, pop-ups, home cards, and trading cards. Nope. The little flashing advertisement window at the bottom just runs with more. I'll be honest, I love flashing advertisements for TV on the computer, on TV, or both. For me, the message is, get away from the flashing / constantly changing picture. It is annoying your brain. So, yeah, that's my own. Bye-bye.
So, Aaron actually brought up a couple things that we completely forgot about.
Uh-oh.
You can't click on anything in your buddy list. If your buddy list is full and you meet a new friend and there's a bunch of inactive people on your buddy list, you can't delete anybody, so your friend can't add you.
Right. Well, we're just talking about the sort of things that they wanted to make work. There's been a ton of glitches. A lot of the PQs have been completely unplayable.
Right.
Since the patch, you cannot update the guild notice.
Right. Aaron mentioned that as well.
Okay. What else did she mention? Because I couldn't hear it.
She talked about the buddy list,
Right.
the guild notice, and the party quests.
Okay.
Which we pretty much mentioned.
Some of it's been fixed. I know the Moria PQ is not being used right now. The maze, the Ludi maze, is up and running, but only you're limited to 6 member parties. You can't have any other number other than that.
Mm-hmm.
I continue to hear rumors about problems with the Carnival PQ, Carnival Monster Park Q, and that some people who lag while in the Carnival are getting banned. Serious bans, like permanent bans.
That's not good.
So it's the auto banner glitch again, apparently. Now, this is unconfirmed. These are just rumors I'm hearing. So
True, but I mean, if it does happen to you, we know how good Nexon is with responding to
exactly, which
emails
is
and stuff.
Why, even though it's a rumor, I just wanted to bring it up if your character's being kind of, if your maple installation of maple's being kind of glitchy or laggy, I would advise not doing it.
Definitely good to know.
Hopefully they fix that soon.
True.
Don't hold your breath.
Hopefully they fix it tonight.
Yeah.
Patching.
Yeah.
And hopefully by the time we're done with this, we'll know if it's good or not. I mean, considering it's already like 3 in the morning.
Oh God, I'm gonna be like hell tomorrow at work. Oh well, okay. Anyway, we also got new maps.
We did get new maps.
Sweet, Ariant. Pretty low for my main, but you know what? That's still a nice patch. I love the music there.
I haven't been yet. You get there through Orbis?
Correct. All right,
Okay.
let me tell you about it.
Sure.
Okay. Ariant. It's in the Nilhal, the desert region. It's a good-sized set of maps. It's on the continent of Assyria, reachable by the Orbis port from the back of a flying genie.
Exciting.
Yeah, we didn't get all of it. They left a few parts of it out, and I'll mention them here and there. All right, so you haven't been there yet. It's a Arabic-themed area with appropriate desert-themed monsters around the town. Nice music to go along with it. There are sand rabbits, snakes, lizards. These are pretty tame, actually, for Assyrian monsters. So if you're going to take your low-level character to Assyria, this isn't actually a bad choice of place to go.
Oh, okay.
So
it's very Mulan-esque?
Yeah, kind of.
Ish.
That's a good comparison.
Mm.
All right, so this area from the town has a road that loops back on itself. On one side, it has kind of a monster town-like thing, populated by cactuses. There's like baby cactuses and mommy cactuses and daddy cactuses.
Where's? It's cacti.
Cactuses. Okay.
Cacti.
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 Sorry, I don't know my plurals and my singulars.
It's like moose.
Yeah. The proper one is Mises, right?
Yeah, of course. Has to be.
All right. Well, in some versions, there's supposed to be a cactus boss around there. I believe it's named Deu, D-E-U. I can't get any further details on it, but I was guessing that we wouldn't get it, and I was right. It wasn't there. But what we did get, what everyone was thinking about and waiting for, we got the Colosseum. We got a voicemail on it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Should I go ahead and play that?
Yes, go right ahead.
Hey, Trevin and Warez. This is Johnny /Jackson/Axdown. Yeah. In the Windia server. Pretty much, this is like a quick explanation of the Aryan Colosseum. It's similar to, the Monster Carnival, in the sense that you almost kill monsters against another party, but you pretty much start a party, and it can be one person, as in just you, or it could be up to 6 people, and it's divided into 2 sections, levels like 20 through 24, or 26 through 30. It depends on who's in the party. Basically, you join a room, like Monster Carnival, and when it begins, you are supposed to click the first option that the guide tells you, which is get 50 rocks and 5 bombs, and you attack the monsters that are in there, which are called scorpions, and once they get really low HP, you're supposed to use one of those rocks, and it's better to set it as one of the keyboard buttons so it's faster. And you want to collect more than the other party or other person playing against you, and you can steal them before the other person gets them. And the bombs that they give you, if you plant them at the right time, they'll blow up and make the other people lose their items, and they'll get stunned, so you have time to pick them up. Problem is, you can get blown up by your own bombs and ruin yourself. That's pretty much it. And after you finish, the number of rocks you get that absorb the energy, you get points. And if you get enough points, you get a new chair, like a palm tree chair or something. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And I was one of the lame no live people who stayed up all day and night for the 25.5-hour extension for the patch. So yeah, pretty cool. Well, that's it. Thanks.
You know what this Ariant Coliseum reminds me of?
What's that?
Pokemon.
Oh, really?
You hurt the monster till it's weak, and then you throw a Pokeball at it to capture it.
Well, we all know that Nexon was it. Can't do anything original. They have to borrow everything from everybody.
But they have to call them, what, capture stones or something?
Ah, yes.
Yeah, copyright issues.
Who sent that voicemail in?
Johnny.
Johnny. Johnny sent another voicemail, and he said that he had made a mistake. We believe we think we know what the mistake was. Has to do with the reward you got at the end, and what you had to do to get it. Now, we might need some verification on this, but you get the palm tree chair. We believe you get it for battling in the Coliseum 200 times.
Yet other people have stated that you get it after getting 200 points, which I think is determined based on how many scorpions you capture.
Yes, I believe that is correct.
So, there's a discrepancy, and people already have the palm tree things, but then again, I don't doubt that some people have played this Coliseum more than 200 times, so...
No doubt, and they will continue to do so, at least for a while. The chairs are tradable. I believe they're going for 25 mil.
Really?
Yes. It gives you 30 HP and 20 MP. Maybe I had that backwards, I'm not sure. Something like that.
It's probably just one of those stylish things.
Yeah, the price was going to free fall fairly quick. But it's one of those strike while it's hot type things. So these people are going to play this thing to death and make a couple of chairs and make some money, make some info.
Yes.
I can't blame them for doing it.
I couldn't actually blame them either. It's a great way to make money.
I would do the same thing if I had a character ready for it.
So what else is there in Ariant Wars?
Okay. There's a ton of quests. I'll get to them later. But Ariant is supposed to lead to a place called Megacia.
Cool.
We have part of the path leading there. From the town proper, there's another path. They call it the North Road, I believe, if you read the sign there. It starts in the middle of the town instead of on the end. Currently, we can only go about 3 or 4 maps along this trail. Those are daylight maps. Past that, I believe it becomes dark, and it's called the Twilight Path. Once you do that, get there, you have left the Nilhal Desert, and you have entered the Sahel Desert.
Oh, okay.
We did not get the Sahel. We were never even testing it. But I'm going to give you a bit of a description to give you a foretaste, because we will get it. I mean...
Eventually.
Eventually, all right. Okay, so I believe it's Megacia. I could be wrong. It's currently available, I believe, only Korea MapleStory and Japan MapleStory. The Sahel, it contains more desert monsters, including giant sand monsters, which you can see along in the maps that we did get. However, there are other monsters getting tougher. I believe it has one of the widest range of monsters, from level 20 to level 80. And I believe that range is rivaled only by Ludibrium when you include the clock tower. Now, all these maps, they might be tough for you to get across, but if we get another part called the Camel Taxi, that takes you directly, I believe it'll take you directly from Ariant to Megacia. So you can actually skip all those maps, if we get that. I don't know if we'll get that part. Okay. As you get to Megacia, it's going to get darker and darker, just like the cemetery maps in Zippingu, or like the floating market is supposed to be. That's in Maple Pie. Okay. Like many areas, there are many quests available from the NPCs around there. The city's primary source of income, they say, comes from the manufacture of lithium stones. But isn't that exactly what they do in Ariant?
Orbis?
Yeah,
Variant?
those are the stones that powers everything in Orbis. The stones that lift the ship up that transports you from Alinea. That's powered by lithium stones. I believe that's the same thing that's on Ariant, though, but only there on those maps they actually call them, I believe some of the NPCs will call them Lydium instead of lithium. That's typical for MapleStory. We're all used to this crazy misspelling and misassignment of genders all over the place and all sorts of goofy stuff. Oh, these are from rare ores found in the desert that they make these stones from. The refined gems are shipped to Orbis, and that's what actually keeps Orbis from falling out of the clouds, believe it or not.
That's actually pretty cool. Good backstory.
All right. The town residents of Megatia are divided into two camps. The Alcadino, they use advanced technology, make robots, and they live in modern-looking buildings. And then there's the Genumists. They practice alchemy, and they live in medieval-looking buildings on the opposite side of town. They are enemies, and this plays out in the party quest. It's a big party quest there, I guess. The Romeo and Juliet party quest. It's a similar theme to the classic story. Players must team up to reunite these two lovers, just like in the play. To do this, however, you're going to have to join one side, although I've heard that it's possible to actually join both sides.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Double spy. Or double agent.
Perhaps. I don't know if it works that way, but maybe it's like one after the other. I don't know. Okay, so both camps have underground fortress-like things. They're laboratories and libraries and things like this. On the Alcadenan side, their lab is accessed from a giant building. They kind of have all those maps will have a kind of modern-looking feel to them. The monsters you find there will be kind of modern and technological. There's a whole series, I guess, of possessed metals. Like there's iron and strong iron and mithril and strong mithril and things like this. I don't know if this is what they actually look like. I'm not sure yet. We could probably find a picture somewhere. As you progress through that, you will get into robots that they've actually made with their technology. I believe they're called roids. Deeper and deeper you go, you get stronger and stronger robots. You get to a place where they're called roys instead of roids. D-roys. Now these D-roys, we haven't touched on this yet, but these are actually one of the bot-catching monsters.
Oh, okay.
They detect botters who are hackers who are botting. And this is the area. We'll get back to that. We'll get back to the bot catchers. Juliet can be found down there. And there's also supposed to be a brand new, I guess. I believe it's just in KMS. There's supposed to be a boss monster down there called the Chimera.
Like head of a lion, tail of a snake, something like that?
Could be. I believe
Griffin, body. I don't remember what a Chimera is. That's sad.
Oh, isn't there a goat in there too? Tail of a goat?
Possibly.
Something like that. All right.
To the internet.
On the other side of town, there's the Genumist lab. It's been invaded by monsters, but most of them are more like twisted biological creatures. The first map, I guess, is got plants in bottles, and then there's some mention of cubic slimes. Weirdness. Anyway.
Cubic slimes?
Later on, the monsters get weirder and weirder, I guess. Remnants of twisted, failed experiments.
Jello squares.
I guess the storyline is they're trying to recreate humans. So,
okay.
and what the closest they get to it is a strong monster down near the bottom called the Homuncula.
The homunculus?
I think it's close to it, but it's actually it's more like it's Homunscullo, homuncula, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what they're trying to imply, though.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is the area where Romeo can be found. So it sounds like you have to make a PQ would involve a trip down both labs. Other items I have on Magacia, apparently there's an NPC there named Stan who will teach you a new skill, a level 45 skill called Maker, which will enable you to forge equipments using special crystals and formulas. Apparently the skill can be increased by later quests, and it can be done twice at level 75 and 105. Now, what exactly you're making, what those equipments are, what the special crystals are, how it's done, I have no knowledge. This is all I got on it right now. Well, that's about all I know about Magacia at this point. Although I do know we will get it sooner or later.
That's a good amount of research, Warez.
Most of it done by other people. But I researched their research.
Yes. Cool. Do you know how soon we'd get Magacia? Is there any speculation on that?
Wow, that's a good question. I don't know.
Hopefully they'll fix out all the bugs that we have before giving us new stuff.
Well, yeah. That'd be first order of business, for crying out loud. Oh, and we're still not done with new stuff in the patch.
No, we have plenty of more new stuff in the patch. Like colorful items.
Yes, I've noticed
all your items now have some colored tinge to them.
If they're special. I.e. above average.
Generally using scrolls.
Although if you get a above average drop, it will also be colored. I got one today.
They're shiny.
Oh, it's nice, isn't it? It's fun.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Other than that, it doesn't really do much else. I guess the color tinge kind of tells you how much better or how much worse the item actually is from average.
Does it indicate where that it's below average?
I think if you get red or black, or I don't know. I think a couple of colors are below average, but most of the colors are above average.
Okay.
But I am not 100% sure about that.
Wow. I learned something new. Okay.
But the big thing that I want to talk about is Nexon's, Better Business Bureau?
Correct.
Their grade increased from an F, which I think we wanted to mention but forgot to mention last time.
Would have been so sweet.
But they completely failed. And alright, for those of you guys who don't know, the Better Business Bureau does evaluations on various businesses. And based on, various things like how they treat their customers, customer service, efficiency, reliability, things like that, they grade businesses.
Correct.
Well, Nexon, as of a month ago, had an F, which I'm sure everyone understands is completely apparent.
Who would be surprised by that?
I mean, you email them with customer service questions, and they answer you with one, something that you didn't even, they answer a question you didn't even ask, or they, ignore you completely, or they're just useless. So basically, they failed. And then somehow, after this patch came out, or right before this patch came out, I'm not really sure time frame wise exactly when this happened, but they went up to a CCC, which means they're not great, but they're not bad, and you can expect standard service from them.
Actually, it implies more like just barely not failing.
I believe the official wording is... Actually, I have no idea. I'll have to look this up. But the whole fact that they actually went up in rating after when a patch just came out with so many glitches, after being extended for so long, disappointing a lot of people, creating a bunch of problems for everybody. I don't see what they did or how it actually went up.
I'm going to make a semi-unrelated statement here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not implying anything. Take it for what you will. But these Better Business Bureau grades are based on complaints and resolutions. And it would not actually be all that complicated for a business that had an abysmal public relations record to actually make some fake complaints and then resolve them wonderfully, thus increasing their Better Business Bureau grade. Now, what does that have to do with what we were just talking about? Probably nothing at all. I just put it out there
It
for
proves Nexon's
consideration.
more immoral than we thought they were.
Oh, I'm not saying it necessarily has anything to do with Nexon. It's just kind of an aside. I don't want to imply anything. But it would not be that difficult for a business to change their grade at will.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we were doing this research, found a bunch of interesting things. I mean, you got to be very careful when you're doing these sorts of things because businesses can go under any sort of name. They just have to do what's called a DBA, which means doing business as.
Mm-hmm.
So you can be hidden under several different layers of names. So you can find out some very interesting stuff. Searching for, on the Better Business Bureau site, searching for Nexon will bring up Nexon America, Nexon Corp, and it'll also bring up Crew Interactive. Now, you don't want Nexon Corp. That's a construction hazard abatement service. They take care of construction waste. Okay, you don't want that one. Their grade's pretty good, actually, in case you're curious. You want Nexon America Incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're dealing with here. But what is Crew Interactive, you might ask? Crew Interactive Incorporated, DBA, doing business as Nexon. This is actually, I found out for some other research, is a breakaway from Nexon that happened before Nexon got their hands on MapleStory from Mozart. Now, let's look at the spelling. Crew, K-R-U. Exactly like the pirates in Mulong are spelled, K-R-U. Connection? Where says, I wonder.
But the Better Business Bureau has been doing this for a long time, so I'm sure that they have some kind of stipulations to keep companies from doing such acts to improve their grades.
Perhaps.
But like you said, it's completely plausible.
Right, and it's one of the reasons I didn't necessarily push this item out there last time.
Well, anyway.
Well, we've still more things that we didn't cover from the patch. We got a new boss, the Yeti boss.
I really like how the Yeti boss looks. I just love the character sprite.
He's funny. I like him.
Relatively easy to kill, right? He's a lower level boss.
Yes. Took me a while to find him. I found him when I was on Wereslock, and I took him out in about 10 seconds.
Very nice. And all he dropped was like Hector tails or something?
Hector tails and white pang tails and a bunch of pots. Some nice. You know what? If you were doing one of those Elnath quests that require you to get all those white pang tails, oh my god, those are some nasty quests. Like I said, I do most of them, so those were some bad ones.
Mm-hmm.
That would make your life a little bit easier doing those quests.
Cool.
Now, here's an interesting thing. We were mentioning bot catching monsters before. Now, supposedly, we've got the Lich, which is the bot catching monster, which has to do with, it guards the zombies out before the dead mines.
Right.
Now, the signs are there. Okay, I should explain what a bot catching monster is. It's a special kind of lower level boss, a sub boss, but you can't just attack it and kill it. If you do that, like a botting hacker would, because they mindlessly attack everything, you automatically get sent back to town. What you have to do is some special procedure which takes its shield down or something like that. They're all apparently a lot of them have different procedures you have to do. Now there's signs out on the zombie maps telling you what to do to take the shielding down around the Lich, but I've been out there for maybe perhaps a total of 6 hours waiting for this guy to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Never showed up. So I don't know if
Interesting.
he's really there. Has anybody seen the Lich? So
I've seen pictures,
Yeah,
but
I
they
think
could
I saw
easily be
pictures.
photoshopped or whatnot.
Or from a different version.
True.
Okay.
So currently
if
it's
anyone- if any-
unconfirmed.
Yeah, unconfirmed. If anybody has seen it, please let us know.
It's an interesting concept. I'm glad they implemented something like this.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's really great. Just it's a good way to get rid of people. But the thing is, like, if you're not, even if you're not a hacker or someone using some kind of bot, just the whole fact that you have to do something aside from just running back and forth and killing stuff. Hopefully, they're located like out of the way, sort of, just so that you don't run into them in your regular training.
I think that they're only implemented on the traditional maps that botters like to go for.
Okay.
Fairly good training maps that are out of the way where they hopefully hope that they won't get reported.
Mm-hmm.
And botters have been notorious for being at zombies, so that's a
Definitely.
definite choice there.
In addition to the bot catching monster, we have gotten town and map expansions
I've heard about them.
/ changes. I mean, little things. There's a Korean folk town expansion and a Leah Free expansion supposedly. I say supposedly because I haven't been to Leah Free. The Vikings map down in the Ludi Clock Tower. Apparently, like, one of the ledges used to go all the way to the left-hand side, to like the edge of the screen,
Mhm.
and now it doesn't. So then you can, like, just so it gives you some space to fall down.
Oh,
Wow. Just very minor things like that,
I'll have
and
to
I'm
go
sure
check it
there's a
out.
couple of other maps that were changed, but yeah, it's all minor.
so other things we got.
Summer.
Events. We haven't had them yet.
True.
The Maple Summer Drops apparently have started.
We get awesome surfboards. Like
Right.
there's like a bullseye board or something.
Yep.
I don't know. They implemented. They gave us some new things.
The level 35 one is a tsunami board. And I've got a Dexless Sin, and I had her training out there on... Oh, I'm sorry. I should tell you. These surfboards are apparently mainly dropped by the Ligators. I don't know if they're dropped by both Gators, but they're dropped by the Ligators for sure.
The ones in the sewers.
Yes. The green ones, not the brownish ones.
Right.
I think.
Aren't the green ones usually the ones that drop the summer stuffs?
I believe that's correct.
And then the bubblings drop everything else.
Right. I didn't even know about these drops starting. So I'm out there training on her, right? And all of a sudden I notice a lot of people out there, like, why are these people out here? And they're KSing me, I'm yelling at them, what the hell are you people doing? Everybody. All the maps are crowded. Well, okay, duh. Summer drops.
Right.
Yeah, it figures. You get something like this, and it's a new item. It's a smexy item because it's new, and so everybody's got to have one. And if you're out there, you'll get at least 1 or 2 people an hour, or every half hour or so, will come out there and go, You got any surfboards? I'll give you $1 mil. I'll give you $2 mil.
Yeah.
It doesn't fail. But
It's a good way to make money.
yeah. I mean, if you're low level and you're out there and you got one of these things and you've been lucky, you're like, hey, there's a quick mill. Now, if you take it into FM, you're probably going to get a lot more for it, but then you got to count your time as worth something to go into FM and try and sell the thing.
Yeah.
So I have gotten one of the tsunami boards, the level 35 board.
Cool. Does it have relatively good stats?
You know what? I didn't take a good look at it, but I think it does. It's pretty good. I believe it's a fast pole arm, and it's got a fairly good attack.
Very nice.
Kind of a cool-looking surfboard.
In addition, we got double EXP and double drop coming up, like we usually do. Usually Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, and the weekends. You guys should know the schedule by now, so just thought we'd mention that.
Tattoo it on the inside of your eyelid.
You can also win stuff. Like, you can always win stuff like beach towels and cameras and t-shirts and whatnot. Yeah, and then there's some forum contest, which
There's
I'm
always
not
a
really
forum
sure what that was, but
Everything
it doesn't even matter.
Always a forum contest.
There's always a GM blog contest. I
Oh yeah, you're right.
don't know what a forum contest is. Yeah, anyway. And then Gachapon updates, because you got something interesting this time.
Chaos.
Something that I don't understand why anyone would use, ever.
What do they do? I'm not even sure how it works.
Okay, so it's a 60% scroll
Okay.
that just alters a random stat of the item that you use it on into a positive or negative way. It either adds 1, 3, or 5, or subtracts 1, 3, or 5 from any stat.
Wow.
So it's got 60% chance of working, which means that there's 30% chance of it increasing the stats and a 30% chance of it decreasing. So it's iffy. Like,
Right.
why?
Well, a 40% chance. I guess then there's a 30% chance it'll increase. There's a 40
But there's also a 10% chance they'll increase by 5.
Right.
Um.
There's a 40% chance nothing will happen. You just use a slot, right?
Yeah, that'll
Right.
just.
I guess
Oof.
you get your chaos scrolls. This is
Mhm.
assuming you have infinite amount of mesos. You get your chaos scrolls with all your white scrolls, and then you set down and you go to town.
Yeah, because if the chaos roll fails that 40%,
Yep.
it destroys the item.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's a black scroll.
it's just like the dark scrolls. Yeah,
Yeah. Do you know how much these things are going for?
I'm sure they're going for like insane amounts of money. I don't know why.
I saw one Smega, 1.1 billion.
Why?
I don't know.
But you know what? I'm sure someone bought it.
Probably.
I want $1 billion. I'm not gonna lie, $1 billion is good money.
Good grief.
So, actually, to tell you guys how to get $1 billion mesos relatively easily, we have John again.
Hey Shrevin, hey Warez, this is John, also known as Yo73 from Scania, level 59 Sin. I thought I'd drop by and give you guys an update on a cash shop item that caught my eye. And it's a bronze sack, and it's 500 NX, and it gives you 1 million mesos every time you buy one and you open it. And I just think this is gonna, personally, I mean, I guess it's an okay thing for people that have NX but need mesos, but I think it's just gonna totally throw the economy down as far as Scania, just because it's very populated. I'm not so sure about, I don't know, Windia or Bera or Roa, but I think it's just gonna throw the economy out of whack in Scania, just because prices fluctuate so much. That's just my personal view. I don't know what everybody else thinks. It's only available for I think 2 weeks. Alright, I love your guys' podcasts, and this is Yo73 signing off.
John's completely right. It's gonna mess with the economy insanely.
All these things that Nexon does to try and drain mesos out of the system to keep inflation in check so that low-level players can actually do something in this game, they just completely went the opposite direction with this.
On their site, it says they will be testing how it affects in-game economy and gather user feedbacks.
Fail.
And that's why they're trying it out for a 2-week period from the June 19th to July 2nd. Obviously, it's going to be... everything's going to skyrocket in price, so that to the point where if you don't have NX and you can't buy these mesos, you can't buy anything in the game.
Imagine a set of Ilbies for 500 million.
If you put down, $30 of NX, which is, it's not too reasonable. It's the highest amount you can put down, and people generally spend about that much for a full-blown outfit. But $30 of NX, $30 in, US dollars is going to get you 30,000 NX, which gets you 60 million.
I've known people to do it already.
I'm sure people have done it already.
Bragging to me about it. I understand their motivations. I understand it 100%. I don't think it's a good thing.
No, it's gonna definitely have downhill effects. We'll definitely see it. Things will increase in price for a while, and everyone will hate themselves. All right, well, let's move on, I guess.
Okay. Hey, there's a patch tonight.
Woo, patch.
Patch 0.57, which consists entirely of fixing everything that was broken in patch 5.6. How pathetic is that?
You know what's going to be more pathetic? They're not going to fix everything. They're going to try.
You know it.
It's going to fail.
They're going to fix maybe half the stuff. Hopefully. That's what I
Maybe half the stuff. Hopefully.
Hopefully. Nice, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chances, they're probably going to mess up more things than they're going to fix.
It could happen. It could happen.
Possibility of that happening.
Nobody would be surprised if it did happen. Let's put it that way. You know what? We need to move on before we get really, really, really depressed.
All right. Well, okay. Next up, we have this whole the whole Odin MS thing, which I'm sure many of you guys have heard about. For those of you who don't know, Odin MS is a private server, the largest one, I believe, and it has actually been gotten some letter from some German law firm, and the letter stated that they were being sued because they were something about copyrighted material and Nexon and all that, and people were talking about it for a while. It was it's quite interesting. They have images up on their site about the letter that they received and how they need to owe something like 350,000 euros.
Yeah.
Which is like $700 or $700,000.
It's a fair amount.
Yeah. But getting on their site, supposedly just this last Monday, June 23rd, they apparently the court admitted a mistake, and how they basically currently aren't in any trouble. They don't have to pay any money, but they're choosing to intentionally stay shut down, just to avoid future conflict before they get everything cleared up.
Interesting development. It doesn't matter how you feel about private servers. It's an interesting development. Now, private servers have been with us for a while, but Odin and copies thereof are responsible for the recent explosion in private servers. It seems like everybody I talk to, I got a private server, blah, blah, blah. I play on my friend's private server.
True. Are they really all that easy to make? I mean, so many people seem to have them.
I guess.
But, the fact of the matter is, it does take away from Nexon, because if, private servers are drawing away the game, or drawing away players from the game, Nexon, they just want more people for their game so they can make more money off their cash shop.
Yeah, I'm kind of two minds. There's been a lot less crowding the past few months. And it might have something to do with all the P servers out there. On the other hand, you can't blame a business for protecting its territory. Now, I know a lot of people running these servers go, we don't make any money. What do they care? But yeah, you're taking their customers away from them.
Yeah, the people they would have made money from.
So yeah, very indirectly, you are taking money away from them. So it's not surprising that they're doing what they're doing, and I don't believe they will stop. No. They've been trying things to try to get people to stay away from, other, I don't want to say illicit, but, things like private servers that take away their customers, things like, sites that farm mesos and sell them for like 69 cents to $1, or 69 cents for like $1 million or something. I kind of feel that the bronze meso sack is good in the sense that it keeps people from buying mesos illegally. That's one way to look at it, yeah.
And hopefully that will kind of reduce hackers as well.
That might be a positive effect of it. I don't think that it'll offset the impact it's going to have on the economy. But yes, you have a good point.
They're trying to do what they can, and frankly, it's their business, and they made the game, so you kind of got to give them rights.
Next, we have a press release on the ITCG. I don't know anything about this, Shravan.
It came out a while back. It's this long article that no one ever bothered to read, and
Myself
it didn't
included.
say it didn't say anything important.
Oh.
It was basically kind of an interview with one of the guys from Wizards of the Coast, who is the company that makes all the popular trading card games like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic the Gathering and all that.
They do it very well too.
Yes, they do. And they have taken up MapleStory, and they've been printing these cards. So it was kind of this interview thing. But I mean, I don't really want to talk about the press release because it was really boring. But okay. I kind of wanted to mention it just because I think it's really interesting, because they did talk about how they want to expand it, and how they are currently in the process of developing the 5th set. So that means the 4th set is ready and set to go, and they're just waiting for the right time to release it.
Wow. Okay, so what does this mean? I've talked in previous episodes about, or at least I've started to mention how to play this cyclic changes in the market.
Mm-hmm.
What this tells us is there will be more changes, and that items in perhaps set 3 that appear to be worthless might actually be worth something. Now, can you afford to hold on to all these things? Probably not. Nobody can afford to hold on to all these things. But something's going to happen. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to have some effect.
It'd be interesting. But what I also think is would actually be a whole new aspect of the game would be if they kind of, how they've been implementing these mini games, like they have Amok and match cards and whatnot.
Sure.
If they could try to bring some aspect of the trading card game into Maple, and just have like a place you can go in Maple, and you could, I don't know, for fun or something, be able to buy booster packs or whatever in game, be able to play the game in game.
That would be interesting.
They might be using NX for that, or just have a little in-game thing to entice people to actually go out and buy the cards.
Sure, that's something. There'd be something else to do in the game within the game.
And so it just got me thinking about putting Maple into, or not Maple, the trading card game into the actual game, and I thought it was interesting and wanted to bring it up.
They could put it in those gaming maps that are off of Genesis that you never see anybody in.
Because there's no reason to go down there.
No,
not anymore. Not after that first wave of Amok and match cards coming out.
Right. That's the only reason to go down there is to make a new set, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the last thing we have is MapleStory DS. It's just a really quick update. We got an email asking about this, so it's probably old news to you guys, but I kind of just found out about it. It was some article back from like January. Supposedly, MapleStory DS is releasing sometime next month. July 2008 is what I've been hearing. I still haven't heard of a set date, so I don't know exactly when everything's coming out. But it's been what's the word?
Delayed many times.
Well, yes, but it's also been it's been proven to not be an MMO.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is. It's officially a single-player game with a few multiplayer aspects. So I don't really know how it's gonna go, but I think it's gonna be more like quest-based and storyline-based. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Hopefully, they will implement Wi-Fi, and if you have maybe we'll see. But yeah, so that's pretty much all I've heard about it so far. So hopefully it'll come out next month, and I can check it out and let you guys know what it's like.
Wow, that might be that could work.
It possibly. I don't see like a lot of people have been complaining, rightfully so. Why would they pay $35 for a DS game, which is basically it's going to be a handheld console. Graphics aren't going to be as good. Gameplay won't obviously be as good. when they could play this like free game on their computer, you know, the whole vast world internet thing. I mean, yeah, why would you pay money for it? So
It's a valid point.
I mean, we'll check it out. But apparently, the Nexon is also working on MapleStory for the Xbox 360.
Wow.
Now, this I think could be very useful, just because Xbox has their whole Xbox Live thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if the people playing the 360 could also integrate or somehow, you know, do something so that they can also access, they can also be connected and playing with the PC version of the game. I think there's a lot of potential there.
That would be interesting.
But they said sorry to everyone who has a PS3 because they think, honestly, they think that the 360 is easier to develop for. Is what they said. And so all you people who own a PS3 are not going to see it.
Out of luck. Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure that doesn't even have a date set yet, so there's plenty of time to worry about that. Last thing that I really want to mention, I kind of stumbled upon it like 4 seconds ago. There is a post on Sleepywood by Mikako, or I guess Mikako, Mikako11, and it's about MapleStory for your cell phone.
Crazy.
Called MapleStory Handy World. Have you heard anything about this, Warez?
I can see it working.
It's iffy. It seems like it'd be really, really slow.
You know what I had one time?
Mm-hmm.
This was a while back. I had for an earlier model of BlackBerry a version of Doom 2. You wouldn't have thought that would work either, but actually it kind of did.
Well, I mean, the thing is that this is supposed to actually connect to, 3 or 4 people.
Oh.
And you can create up to 3 characters, and there's 4 different jobs available. 40 types of monsters, 700 types of items. I mean, it's like a full in-depth mini MapleStory in your cell phone, which is oddly interesting.
Yeah, it is. Wow, is there any place they won't go?
Probably not.
Oh, wow, are we done with the news?
I believe we are.
And we're only at an hour and a half.
We're not even halfway. Wow. How do we spend an hour and a half on news?
There's a lot of news.
Damn Maple.
It will suck every spare second of your life away from you.
That's pretty much it. That's how it goes. Well, what do we have next? We have a Quest Corner coming up?
Quest Corner, and I'm going to
All
talk until I can't talk anymore.
Cool. Quest Corner, a slice of gaming pie.
Okay, this is another weird Quest Corner in that it's not about any one particular quest. This is a very quick medley recap of all of the new Ariant quests. I've done most of them between Tespia and the patch. I've gotten to most of them. So this is a Quest Corner called Warez's Medley of Ariant Quests. Deep breath.
Is there that many of them?
There's quite a few.
Okay.
I'm not gonna give you much of any detail about any one of these. What I want to point out though is, like many quest series, there's a couple of key ones. You want to hit those because they unlock other ones. Alright, these quests range from level 10, there's a couple of level 10s, a couple of level 20s, a whole bunch of level 25s, a couple of level 30s, a 35, and a 40. Alright, one of the first ones you're going to want to do, one of the first things you're going to want to do when you go to Ariant, if you're going to spend some time there, the quest is called Learning About the Culture of Ariant. Pretty easy. You talk to a guy named Byron, he's in the town, he's not in the market area. He's got a turban on, and he looks like he's not a native there. He isn't, if you talk to him later. But anyway, he tells you how to talk to these people. Seem unfriendly, you say. Well, here's how to get to talk to them. You have to go to the castle and drink from the water under the castle. I've seen a lot of people confused by this. How do I drink from this thing? You know, how do you get your maple character to drink from? Actually, you just chat the water. That's all you do. You chat the water. Now, you have to make sure you're at the right pool. The palace is actually elevated. It's up above. So when you come in, there's one little pool and a thing over it, and then there's a big pool in the middle, which is underneath the elevated castle, and then there's another little pool on the other side. It's very pretty. It's a very pretty map. Go there just to see it if you're not going to do anything else. You want to talk. You want to go to the very middle and then chat the water underneath you. Believe it or not, that's what you do. Then you go back to Byron, and I believe that's how you get. Is that the badge? Yes, you get the badge that lets you go into the castle, I believe.
Didn't you just go into the castle to drink the water?
But, no, you are underneath the castle. You're not in the castle.
Okay, cool.
Like I said, it's elevated, so you're actually underneath it.
Ah, right.
It's like a paradise garden that's underneath the castle, kind of, in a way.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so... Oh, actually, I had this wrong. Next, you do the next quest, which is called the Tigan the Guard at the Palace. This is level 10, so you had to have done the first one. You go, and this guy, he's really stout, he's really mean, but it turns out all you have to do is pay him 2k, and you get a pass to the castle. Don't drop the pass.
Driven by greed?
What's that?
They're driven by greed.
Driven by greed. I'm not going to say it. Anyway, you get the pass. you can actually drop the pass, but then you have to go and pay him another 2k and you get another one. All right. Then you can do the Queen's Tea Pass. Well, actually, this one unlocks like 10,000 other quests. So the Queen's Tea, you talk to the Queen. What do you have to do? You go to you have to go to Orbis. Oh yeah, you have to go all the way back to Orbis and talk to the fairy Lisa. Then you kill 30 junior sentinels and travel all the way back. I didn't do the ones that involve a lot of traveling, so I didn't do this one. And your reward is 4.6k EXP. That's a level 23 minimum to do that one. There's only two quests that the Queen gives you. It turns out that the Queen's not a very nice lady, and it's not the king that runs the place. It's actually the Queen, because the king's kind of, out of the scene in a way. You'll find out if you go there. So most of the quests have to do with the people who are struggling against the royalty, and I'll get to that shortly. Next quest is a level 24 quest. You want to talk to Siren. She's in the town, not in the market area. You want to go out and hunt for 20 snake rattles, and she will give you 6k experience and 1 fame. I believe she's just scared of them. The snake is actually called a Bella Moa, and so you go kill 20 of them. Or you don't kill 20 of them, you get 20 of their rattles, so you probably have to kill more than 20. Next one is called Request from a Member of the Sand Bandits, level 27 minimum. This is also in the same series, so you have to get the one to get the badge and everything. This can be done there's a guy out in the desert called the Strange Guy. He's at the map called Burning Sand Scorching Desert. He will ask you to hunt for 30 cactus stems. Those come from the baby cacti. Next, you hunt for 50 cactus thorns that come from I'm just calling, they don't have these names, I'm just calling them the daddy cacti. And finally, you go and you take a ring from the king's room while avoiding traps. Now, you need to have done this because you need the pass to get into the castle. You go to the right side of the king's room and you chat the drawer. There's a lot of NPCs on Ariant that aren't actually people. They're just inanimate objects. It's very weird.
Yay, inanimate objects.
You click
It's
on
like
it.
Beauty and the Beast all over again.
Yep. You click on it and you get a ring. This is the mission to steal the ring. Now they say, and this is kind of a spoiler, so don't listen if you want to, that you should run fast and keep the up arrow at all times. That way you will utilize all of the portals on the way out. What I found is that if I went in the opposite direction, I actually got booted right out of the castle. Now, that's supposed to be a bad thing. You're supposed to lose the ring, but I actually wound up with the ring outside of the castle by going the opposite direction. Now, you want to try it? I don't know. You can. And your reward, when you take this stuff back to the strange guy, will be 15,300 EXP.
And this was a level 27 quest?
I believe it is, yes.
That's not bad.
No. There's actually, for the levels they're set for, it's pretty good rewards for a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Sounds like it's the place to be.
Okay, now that one, the request from member of the Sand Bandits is a trigger to another side quest. It's called Sand Bandits and Red Scorpions. I should explain these Sand Bandits. These are the people who are kind of a group of Robin Hoods. They're resisting the royalty. And the Red Scorpions, well, it turns out that they are another group of kind of bandits, but they are selfish bandits, and they only out for greed and profit. Okay, so you go back to the strange guy, and he's going to send you back into town to talk to Siren. We'll send you back out to the scorching desert. You press up at a rock. It takes you to a hidden street called Rocky Hill. From here, you walk past the door, and you're prompted for a password. Now, you have to give the code to enter. Once again, this is a spoiler, so don't listen. The password? Open Sesame. Seriously. But
Very nice.
you have to capitalize the O and open, otherwise it doesn't work.
And lowercase s?
Yes. And there you will get 4 sacks of small sacks of jewelry. And you take those back to the town, and now you have to enter houses 1, 2, and 3. Remember, this is in the town, not in the market area. Not 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 4, 6. They're easy to tell because they'll have circles on the door, not X's. Now, you go into each one of these houses, and there are 2 hidden NPCs in each one of the houses. Once again, they're not people. They're inanimate objects.
Very nice.
So you have to, sit and move your cursor over the entire map. They're very tiny, so it might take you a while to find them. Now, one will say, I pace back and forth across the floor, or something crazy like that. That's the one you do not want to give the stuff to. Okay. And then there's another one that says, this is a good place to drop the sack of jewelry. So actually, that's the one you do.
That's very convenient and forward.
Right. All right, and your reward for that is 7,800. Now, if you do that one, then you get a proper reward for a good deed quest, also level 27. Talk to Siren, she says, "Oh wait a minute, you just did something for the Red Scorpions. They're the bad guys. But you didn't mean to, so I forgive you. However, you should get a reward because you meant to do the right thing, blah, blah, blah. And you got these jewels, and you brought them back, and you gave them to the poor people, blah, blah, blah." Anyway, you go back to the same place, it's on the same hidden map, and you go in there, you enter the same code, and now you can obtain a reward from the quest. And your reward will be any one 5 of random ores, but you get to choose. I would suggest that you pick the ores that you haven't seen before. These are the lithium. Now here's where the weirdness comes in. In Magatia, apparently they're lithium crystals. In Orbis, they're lithium. Here, they're lydium ores. Okay.
Everyone says they're lydium?
I believe all the NPCs and the quest will call them lithium with a D instead of a TH.
Okay.
You're going to need these guys later. Take the lithium or the lydium ores. Okay, next quest. Now, going back off that branch of the quest and back to the main tree of the learning about the culture of Arient quest, I'm sure everyone's lost by this point, but that's okay. These quests all kind of lead one into the other, so you won't get lost. It's level 28, and it's called Juher's Sister. He's a little guy. He's in the town. Turns out his sister was a good storyteller. She was captured by the queen. His sister's name is Shigerazade.
Say that 10 times fast.
Yeah, it's quite a mouthful. So you go to the castle, you'll find her. She's pretty easy to find. You talk to her, and she will ask you to get 20 cactus flowers for Juher. Now, if you do that, you're going to get 5.8k experience and another 5. Now, here they're called lithium ores. So I guess they're not always called the same spelling everywhere. Okay, so you go out. You get the flowers from the cactus. It's to... you go left from the town is the fastest way there. Okay, next quest. It's called The Existence of the Secret Organization. Now you're going to try and join the Sand Bandits. You talk to Siren, the same dancer you talked to before. She said, find the hidden NPC in the shaded wall in the house near me. Alright, if you do that, once again, it's not a human NPC. It's just the wall you're talking to. They'll say something about, I forget how it goes, but it implies that you need to talk to 3 different people. The bow, the knife, and the sword, or something like that. You'll find out when you do it. Anyway, this quest unlocks a bunch of other quests, which have to do with each one of these 3 people. Alright, the first person is Cezanne. He's also in town. By the way, all 3 of these people are in town, so they're easy to find. He talks about the people are poor and hungry, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so you have to go collect 10 apples, 10 eggs, 50 carrots. The carrots can be gotten from the sand rabbits. The easiest way to get the apples and eggs is just go to the store guy and buy them. Return to Sejan with the collected items, and you will get some 8,000 experience, but you also get 4 wrapped foods. Now, you're going to do exactly the same thing with these wrapped foods that you did with the sack of jewels before. Remember, houses 1, 2, 4, and 6. Easy to find. They got the circles on the door, not the X's. Do the same things with the 2 invisible, inanimate object NPCs. And then you go back to Sejan, donate 10,000 mesos to the bandits, and you are done with this quest. Okay. Now, next person you're going to talk to is Aden. This is Sand Bandits according to Aden. This is the first one for this person. They are going to request that you kill 100 Belamos. Remember, those are the snakes. Then you return to Aden, and you're going to be requested to get 20 earmuffs from the earmuff frills and 20 scarves from the scarf frills. These are like geckos. These are geckos. Now, picture this, out in the desert, wearing earmuffs and scarves, and sweating like crazy. Yeah, well, duh. So you get the 20 earmuffs from the earmuff frilled and the 20 scarves from the scarf frilled, and then you also have to defeat 30 of each. Return to Aden, talk to him, select the second option, then you're going to have to defeat his double in battle. Why this? I'm not sure, but I guess he's testing your strength. It's not too hard, at least. Well, I don't know. Maybe it would be if you're level 29, which is the minimum for this quest. You talk to him one last time, and your reward is 14,250 EXP, 10 sap of ancient tree, and 10 dragon blood. Yeah.
Ooh, dragon blood.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Okay, now we move on to the third person. Sand Bandits according to Ureska. Once again, level 29 minimum. Ureska is going to require that you go to the castle, to the king's room, and talk to Shigerazade. Access a hidden portal on the left side. Now, this is under a lamp that doesn't glow. Easy to find. It's hidden. Click up. Now, you have to steal the Sky Jewel. It's in a number of boxes, and this is one of these areas where there's spears coming out of the floor and stars flying all over the place. If you're low level, you don't have a lot of HP, it might be dangerous. It was just annoying to Warez. So you might have to you might have to break all the boxes, but eventually you will find the Sky Jewel. So you get out of there, you take it back to Ereska. Now, Ereska is also going to require that you collect 2 refined lithiums. Now, these are not the ores. Remember, with these ores, you always have to get 10 of them, have them processed, and then you have the processed crystal. So you need 20 ores altogether to finish this quest. Now, if you've done these other 2 quests, you've already got 10 of them. So for the final 10, you're going to have to go out and just, hopefully, you might have gotten 1 or 2 of them. All the monsters out in the desert drop them. So hopefully you've gotten another 10. If you haven't gotten another 10, you're going to have to go out to the desert and get some more. So when you go into the town, there's a NPC. This is actually a human NPC for once. To the left, just to the left of the entrance. He will process these things for you. He will actually also process any of your traditional ores, and he will actually make materials for you too. So there you go. So once you do that, and you got the 2 processed lithiums, you take them back to Ereska, and you finish this quest. Now that will gain you a total of 8,450 EXP and 3 diamond ores and 3 adamantium ores. Why those? I have no clue, but you get them anyway.
It's very random.
Now, if you do all 3 of those, you've satisfied those 3 people. Now you get to do the true identity of Sand Bandits. Once again, level 29, you have to talk to Jono. Now, Jono is in a secret house at the far right of the town. You can tell it is a very broken down, run down house. You go to the very last portal and you click up there. Once you've done the 3 quests that satisfy those 3 people, that portal will be open and you are transported into this hidden area. He is the leader of the Sand Bandits. So, talk to him and agree to join the Sand Bandits. You will gain 10,000 experience and the Sand Bandits Picture Member Badge. It's a weird name, but you want to keep this badge. You can only be attained once, so don't drop it whatever you do. Alright, now you're a member of the Sand Bandits. You can actually do the first mission. The first mission for the Sand Bandits, level 29. Talk to Jono again. He'll tell you to talk to Tigan. He's the guard in front of the castle, remember? In front of the palace. Then you'll have to hunt for 1 lithium ore, no, just 1, not a processed one, just an ore, from any of the Arient monsters. Then return to Tigan, and he will actually give you part of his beard. You asked for part of his hair, and he said, nah, I'm not going to give you any hair, but I'll give you part of my beard. Also quite random, right? So you trade that ore for part of his beard. You take this back to Jono. Jono will use it to make a potion for you that will transform you into Tigan. Quite hilarious indeed. I had a lot of fun as I was Tigan. I was talking to random people walking by. I also went back into the castle as Tigan, and I was watching people do the various quests where they steal things from the castle.
All right.
And I'd hide behind pillars. And as soon as they grabbed the item they were going to steal, I would jump out and say, "Stop, thief!" and chase them as they ran away. It was hilarious. You get to be Tigan for an hour. So I had some fun. I did the quest as Tigan. I got it done in about 10 minutes, and then I spent the next 50 minutes just screwing around and having fun. It was hilarious. Anyway, what you have to do when you're dressed as Tigan, actually, is to go out into the desert, and you have to talk to an NPC out there named Carcassa. He's a very skinny kind of dude. He'd be very suspicious of you. He doesn't think you really are Tigan. Why are you so hot and sweaty? Because actually, as you transfer him as Tigan, it's very uncomfortable for you, so you'll look like you're sweating and you're very uncomfortable. But eventually he will give you the Queen's Silk, which is what you're out there to obtain. So you take that back to Jono, and your reward for that, let's see, I wrote it down here, where is it? 5,000 EXP and a scroll for shoes for speed 60%. Not bad.
Shoe scrolls are always nice.
Alright. Now there's the Dancer's Sword. This is kind of an unrelated. Now you had to have done both the Arient Culture quest that I mentioned right away in the beginning, and you have to have done that first quest for Siren, who is the dancer. You had one quest initially for her. You do both of those, and now you can do this quest. You have to talk to her first, then you talk to Muhammad. Muhammad is the guy who processes your orders. You'll say, yeah, I can give you what she wants, which is actually a dancer's sword. What a dancer's sword is, I have no clue. But in order to make one, what you have to do is go out and collect 4 cat's eyes and 30 Kyo beaks. Now these can be gotten on the part of the trail that leads to where Megashia would be. On one of the final maps, before it just dead ends, you will see some bird-like things. There's also sand people out there, which are kind of triangular things, and the giant sand monsters. They're not what you're after. You want to get these beaks from the birds. And let's see, who drops the cat eyes? I can't remember anymore. One of those monsters out there drops the cat eyes. So you take this stuff back to Muhammad and give him 5,000 K, and he will make the sword. You give that to her, and she will give you 8,400, 500 EXP? 400, I think, and 3 fame. Oh, meerkats. Meerkats, yeah, meerkats are the ones. They drop telescopes as an etc. item. Weirdness. But they're the ones that drop the cat's eyes. Alright, then, at the same level is something called Byron's Recommendation Letter. This has no, I didn't actually do this one, so I don't know much about it. Alright, then there's also the Little Prince quest. Now this is separate from the Arient Culture quest, but it does lead to another one. This is a little guy. I believe he's near the cactus maps. He's going to ask you to collect 5 desert mists. Now this is a HP pot that the baby cactuses drop, and it's fairly rare. So you may be at it for a while. So you take those back, and he's also going to want 20 of the telescopes that I just mentioned that the meerkats drop. Remember, that is on the road that goes to where Megashia will be. So you get all this stuff, take it back to him, and he will give you 8,850 EXP and a pair of star earrings, level 30 earrings. Oh boy. This leads
Are we done yet? Where's?
I'm getting there. Have I put you all to sleep yet?
Almost.
Okay. That leads to the recovering the book for the Little Prince. I didn't actually do this one because it's a travel quest. And that requires you go to Wiz the librarian in Helios Tower. And he needs a book. And if you get that book from him, you'll get 8,800 EXP and 30 melting cheese. The next is a level 35 quest, also for Scheherazade. She's worried that she's going to run out of stories and the queen will kill her. So you need to get some books, also from Wiz the librarian. So, what did we notice the common thread? If you're going to do these quests, if you're going to bother to do these quests, you do them together.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you get her books for her, she will give you 10,500 EXP. There's only one quest left, and that is the second quest. I mentioned one quest for the queen. This is the second quest for the queen. Only requirement is that you do the initial Culture of Arient quest. It's level 40, and she will ask that you collect 20 sands for her. You return them to her, and you will get 15,000. And you're done. You have done all the quests in Arient, and I'm out of breath.
Yeah, there's a mouthful, and there's a lot to do. They've done quite well with this new patch, even though with all the glitches and stuff, they give us a lot to do.
Well, Wizette did well with it.
No, well, okay,
yeah.
Very true.
Okay.
Alright, Warez, you take a break. I shall go ahead and start up the newbie tips.
Oh boy. Newbie tips. Because we were all noob once.
Alright, well, this is newbie tip number 8. It's just a bunch of various and assorted newbie tips that was compiled and sent to us by a listener named Matt, who plays on the Bro server. And he says, "Hey Shrivan and Warez."
Hey?
Just kidding, Shrevan and Warez.
Okay.
It's funny how everyone gets your names wrong.
I don't think it's that funny.
No, it's not that funny. My name is Matt, and I play in Broa. My IGN is Wabaducky7. Nice screen name. He's a level 50s fighter. And he says, "I've been listening to your podcast since episode 3, and this is my first time emailing you guys. Yeah, I'm just lazy."
What took you so long?
Stop being lazy. It's all you have to do is sit in your computer chair and type. There's not much more lazier you can get.
Maybe we better not rant against our listeners.
Gah, rant. Maybe if we played the rant stinger, they'd let us. Anyway, he says, "But congratulations on episode 14. I was hoping to contribute to maybe a newbie tip or something. You can just put this on some other section. I don't care. Or maybe to a new section. Money management? But anyway, you guys were talking about making money, so I have more tips to add." So, Warez and I are just going to switch off on these, because there's a lot of them.
Oh, yeah.
Unless Warez just wants me to take them all. Because, I mean, Warez, you really spoke for like a half an hour.
I'm good. Let's go.
Alright, tip number 8A. The first tip I would give is to use the pots that the monsters you train on drop.
Amen,
even if
brother.
What?
Amen, brother.
Oh yeah, definitely. Even if they drop red potions, still use them. Most people think, 50 HP, what's that going to do? 50 HP can actually be a lot, especially if you're a mage. I know by experience that people, especially warriors, get lazy and buy things like ice cream pops that restore 2000 HP rather than pressing the pop button 40 times. I imagine that if you buy 40 red pots, it'll be cheaper than buying one ice cream pop.
It is.
But, I wouldn't know because I actually have never bought a single pot from the pot store and managed to get to level 50. So pick up all the pots that the monsters drop.
I did pretty much the same thing.
And you said it is cheaper to buy the smaller
I believe
potions?
It is almost always. I don't think there might be a few exceptions to that, but it's almost always cheaper to buy the lower pots.
Convenience is very expensive.
The only downside is if you're in the middle of a battle and you have to hit the button 40 times instead of once, you're probably going to be dead.
Very much so. It's always good to have emergency pots set to a hotkey, but for like regularly using pots, it's not a bad tip.
Correct.
He continues to say, "Another great way to get pots is to do quests. There are plenty of quests that reward you with potions. One of my favorites is the Looty Party quest. At the bonus stage, the boxes drop plenty of pots which you can stock up on.
Oh, yeah.
The ice cream pops, which is 2000 HP, orange juice, 450 MP, grape juice, 900 MP, red bean sundaes, 2000 MP, watermelon, which is 1000 MP and 1000 HP, elixirs, 50% MP and HP, power elixirs, 100% MP and HP, and sunset dews, which are 5010 MP. And so when you've finished with Looty Party Quest, you talk to the NPC and you go out, and there's a high chance you'll get more potions. You mainly get 100 white pots, which is 300 HP each, 100 blue pots, 100 MP each, or a 60% scroll, which you can either use or sell. So I'd recommend you Looty Party Quest and stock up your mules with potions.
Oh yeah.
Another quest would be all the repeatable dungeon quests. Make a big party and killing 999 mushrooms or whatever you're training on will go much faster. Plus the spawn rate will be kept high and you'll all get bonus experience. And when you're finished, you'll get more potions.
I have very often gone out and done those 999 monster quests. Mm-hmm. I solo them. But
you solo them?
I'm a maniac that way.
Very nice. Is this like a weekly ritual for you?
Not anymore. It used to be though.
Fun, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like sitting in dark caves and killing creepy lizard thingies.
Well, some of these are actually in the jungle dungeons, which are outside dungeons, like outside of Sleepywood.
True. But, no one goes down there anyway either, so.
Oh, yeah, on the way to Fog. There's a lot of traffic, actually. Well, a fair amount of traffic.
Would you like to go ahead and take the next tip?
Yeah, it's my turn, sorry. Tip number 8B. The second tip I recommend is to pick up everything. This is something we've covered before, yes. So even those snail shells will help you, even if you they can only NPC for like 6 mesos, but it all accumulates. If you're lazy, it might even be helpful to get a pet. I guess now you can have multiple pets, as you guys mentioned in the last episode. When you pick up items, sell them. I know most people just NPC the lower equips that you can buy in a store, but what I find helpful, sometimes tedious, is to sell these lower levels equips at a price range somewhat higher than the NPC price, but lower than the store price. This way you benefit both you and the buyer. Sometimes these things just need patience. Oh, there you go. If Maple Story teaches us anything, it's patience.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you're still playing Maple Story, give yourself a pat on the back for having patience.
Okay, so he finishes off by saying, if you're that lazy to walk around selling these things, Basil Market is if you're too lazy to walk around selling these things, Basil Market is a great place to sell these type of things. Also, there are quests that reward you with equips that you can sell, correct?
Do you know that if you equip like 3 of the same pet, or I'm not sure if it works with all the pets, but if you have 3 dragon pets, you end up getting this like dragon avatar looking giant sparkly thingy behind you?
I've seen those. Awesome.
Yeah. They're really cool, but not worth money, in my opinion.
I didn't know that's how I thought it was something in the Cash Shop NX you had to buy to get that. But I guess you actually do have to buy something. You have to buy the pets and make sure they're all the same. Wow.
And then you got to feed them all, and it's just a lot of maintenance, too much money.
Oh yeah, that is
both in-game mesos and out of game.
For the input, for the results you get out of multi-pets, I don't see how it can possibly be worth it. Too expensive, way too expensive.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Also, he mentions basiling these things. I wonder if you could actually sell these sorts of things on the trading system, which is something we need to talk about more sometime, but probably not this episode because it's going to set a record, I can tell already.
I'd be happy if it doesn't hit 3 hours. That's my goal right now, not 3 hours. I'd like to look into the Maple trading system more often, just because, I learned yesterday that Basil, apparently you can, back out of a trade for pretty much no reason.
They do it all the time.
A lot of people just, if you sell something and it's not what you expected, they just back out of it, and what do they get? Negative feedback. But it's not refined to the point where people don't buy off of people who have negative feedbacks. Yeah. So
it's annoying, especially if it's a really godly thing.
Right.
You'll think, oh my God, I finally got it, and of course they disappear right at the end.
Right. Of course. All right. Tip 8C is my third tip. Is never use the taxi. I know that it's a long walk from Hennesis to Kierning City, but a walk will still be way cheaper than the taxi. If you walk, you can kill monsters on the way and gain a little bit of experience, and while you're at it, you can pick up all the drops. Also, you can, maybe make an addition to your buddy list, say hi to random people. If you're that lazy, I'm seeing a trend here with being lazy. The least you can do is go buy some, town scrolls. The regular town scrolls are like 500 meso, and the nearest town scrolls are like 400 meso. And buying these will save you at least 500 meso. And, why not take the taxi once, or why take the taxi once when you can use town scrolls twice for the same amount of mesos?
Correct.
As editors note, they do take up slot.
That's true.
Take up slots. Yeah, plural.
Yep. I almost never use the taxi. I still never use the taxi.
I prefer to go halfway and then use the town scroll.
Yep. Next tip. My turn. Tip number 8D. Do not use the Ludi train ride. There's an alternative. Okay, this is another one we've also covered, but he states it very well, so we're going to talk about all of them. There's an alternative path that you can use that won't cost you anything except a little more patience. Plus, you'll get experience and drops along the way. So here's the path if you're in Orbis and you want to go to Ludi. First, go down the Orbis Tower and all the way to Aqua Road. Woot! Then travel to the rightmost map of Aqua Road. Woot! And there will be a floating storybook. Enter the book and you are in Korean Folktown. Then go up the Helios Tower. Now you're in Ludibrium. You can take this path back to Orbis, but going up the Orbis Tower will take a bit longer. Yeah, no kidding.
Just a little bit. Tip 8E says, try not to use the tower scrolls too much. I know it's hard traveling up and down the EOS tower, but you can make more money if you don't use them. Instead of using the scrolls, like Shrevin said, you can sell them for good profit. And if you don't have the patience, limit yourself to only using tower scrolls when you go up. Going down is very, very easy.
Well, I don't know about very, very easy, but compared to going up, it's easy.
It's not the fact that it's hard or easy, it's just the fact that it takes a long time to drop through 20 floors.
Yeah.
And frankly, if you can only be in the game for, like an hour or two a day, you don't want to spend, the whole first hour climbing down a tower.
Yeah, that is a good point. I for the most part, have practiced for most of my Maple career the halfway option he mentions, which is to scroll up, but to travel down. Especially the ES Tower, because I just got a huge charge out of, those parts where you can drop for like 20 floors. Whee!
Right.
Yep. Okay. Next tip. Tip number 8F. Clerics are your best friends. Woohoo!
Yes, we are.
You should always be polite to these guys because they can heal. If you party with a cleric, you will not be using so many HP pods.
Sage advice.
Very sage.
Tip 8G says, sell fame. Once you reach about level 15, sell fame every single day. You can use your fame once a day, so, fame can usually be, fame can usually be somewhere between 10 to 15k, but, it used to be like that, but now I think it's like 20 to 25k. If you sell your fame every day, you'll have about 225k more than you started with by, what level would that be? 50-ish?
Yeah. It's late and I don't want to do math, so yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. So, go out there, don't have defame wars, they're completely pointless.
Amen, brother.
They make enemies. Don't do that.
Enemies will cost you mesos in the long run.
True, very true.
If nothing else. Okay.
So, sell your fame instead and make some money.
Tip number 8H. If you are really that desperate, you can collect arrows and sell them to low-level archers. Back when I was a noob, I used to sell 1,000 arrows for 500 meso. Again, it benefits both you and the buyer. You're selling something that would otherwise get you 0 mesos when NPCs, and it is 500 mesos less for the archer when buying them.
True.
I always just gave my arrows away.
Yeah, me too.
I collect them, I find an archer, and drop them. Make somebody's minute. I don't know if it'll make them an hour, make their hour, but it'll make their minute.
Only if they're under level 36, because then they have Solero by then.
That's true. Correct.
Tip number 8I says, you don't have to buy every single equip that you can wear.
Mm-hmm.
When you're level 10, all you really need to buy is a weapon. At level 15, you don't really need to buy any of that stuff either. And at level 20 is when you could maybe buy a top and a bottom. Try buying equips every 10 levels, or, you can get yourself, like Shrevin said, a sauna robe and scroll it. Gloves and shoes can maybe go every 15 or so. For the hat, get yourself a nice bamboo hat and wear that all the way to maybe level 70. That might be a stretch. But
I've seen people do it.
Earrings you don't really need. The only good one would be level 25 leaf earrings that give you plus 50 MP. These you can get from a quest.
Is that the green or the brown?
The leaf earrings?
Yes.
I believe it's the green one.
Okay.
Yeah. They're really nice. And then, if you can scroll them for magic attack or something, it's even better.
Woohoo!
But you can get those from a quest. Capes aren't too necessary. The only ones I prefer would be the level 40 Icarus cape. The level 40 Icarus capes. And there are 3 of those. One that adds speed, one that adds jump, and one that adds avoidability. I also recommend the level 30 necklace that you can get from the Carnival PQ, because it adds 1 to all stats.
Correct. It also can add, like I said, up to 90 HP and MP if it's fully scrolled with the marbles.
Which sounds completely awesome.
Right. Now, these Icarus capes, they're Icarus 1, 2, and 3. I believe 2 is the jump. Isn't that the one?
Yes.
I believe that's the one that's expensive.
I believe they're level 42 capes or something.
Yeah, I believe they're all 40. Level 40.
Are they 40?
I think so.
Hmm.
So the number 1 and the number 3 don't go for all that much, but the jump Icarus goes for a lot, if I remember correctly.
And it's completely random which one you get, so...
Yes, it is.
Cross your fingers.
Yep. Did you wear a lot of equips?
I actually do not. I kept my leaf earrings from when I got them. I did do that quest. Up until I got the heart earrings, which I wore just because I like how they looked. But I got those from the Looty Party quest when I was through the bonus stage.
Ah, okay.
Because you get the heart earrings there, the blue moon, and like the skull earrings or something. So you get earrings. I generally get through my party questing. Generally, I change my overalls every 15 to 20 levels, and the hat though I change more often than not. I don't know why.
Okay.
I like my hats.
I think I've worn just about everything and equipped just about everything that a mage can use.
Very nice.
Now, in a twist on this sub-tip, I actually paid for... I paid for almost none of them. I hunted all of them up to level 85, I believe.
Really?
Yep. I kind of made a science about... This is how I really got into Hidden Street. Using the database over and over and over again. Finding out, okay, what do I want? What do I want next? I gotta have this. I'm gonna level in 3 levels. I'm gonna upgrade in 3 levels. I gotta have it.
Right, but the thing that drops what you need, isn't that like 3 or 4 levels higher than you are?
Yeah.
So it's hard to kill.
Yes, it was.
I guess it keeps things interesting.
Yeah,
They're difficult.
It made it interesting. I like a challenge. What can I say? Wow, that was a heck of a newbie tip, wasn't it?
It was very well consolidated. And so we felt the need to read it. So next up, we have a new segment by Bagel, who will actually introduce himself and introduce it. And Warez and I will take a 10-minute and 13-second break.
Whee!
And try really hard not to fall asleep during that time.
Hello and welcome to the first installment of Aqua Road Radio Jukebox. Maple story music for your ears. Warning, the following material will contain very, very loud audio. Please watch the volume on your Bluetooth device and or other listening device. Thank you. Hey, avid listeners of Aqua Road Radio. I'm Bagel, here bringing you the first portion of the Aqua Road Radio Jukebox. The aim of this section is to provide MapleStory music for the avid listener of Aqua Road Radio. I know that Trevin and Warez would love to take a breather in the middle of their podcast because, they've done episodes 2 hours, like an hour and a half to 2 hours, and it always sounds like they're out of breath by the end. So I'm here to contribute a little breathing time for them and to provide entertainment for the average listener of Aqua Road Radio. The way this will work is that I will always start out with a song. I will give the name, and I will try to provide a download for the music. I will send the music included in this part of the show in the email when I send this to Trevin. And then the second part will always be an unidentified song, of course chosen by me, and the listener is to adventure into the depths of MapleStory to find this song, and to report back to Trevin which song, what map, all the information of where you found this song, and he will email me about that, and we will see if we can distribute a prize that was worth your efforts, and the prize will be dependent on how hard the song was to find, and that will also be decided by me, because I have my ways. So anyway, let's get started. The first song will be the continuation of the opening song, called Let's Hunt Aliens, and I personally enjoy that song, and it can be found in Omega Sector, so if you would like to listen to it in-game, you can find it there. So, enjoy the first installment of Aqua Road Radio Jukebox. Welcome back. And the first song, as I said before, was Let's Hunt Aliens, and it can be found in Omega Sector. So now it is time for the unidentified song. Ooh, scary. Yeah. Alright, I'll cut the crap. Alright, let's get to the good stuff. This song is called For the Glory, and I will not be identifying the song. This song is for you to go find, and the price the reward for the song will be identified by Shravan or Warez on the show. So, enjoy. It's For the Glory, and have fun. Hey, welcome back. And that was our last song for this part of the show. I will try to keep this show shorter because as of now, it is 9 minutes and 30 seconds, which is kind of long because I guess the durations of the song that I included are decently long. And so yeah. For also, I will be accepting requests for songs. If you include the map of the song, I will go find it and I will get it and I will play it. So, you can contact me at masterelites@gmail.com, masterelites@gmail.com.
Alright, well, Bagel, thanks for the whole segment. It was amazing. It was really good.
Awesome.
Loved the music. Don't know where your sources are coming from, but it was really well put together. Great kind of, halfway kind of thing. It's a pause from us speaking, and it's something peaceful for everyone to listen to.
Very nice, my friend.
We hope you keep doing it, because we would love to keep playing something like this. So, in regard to the name of this podcast episode, we once again have a newbie tip. Yet another.
Well, this one is a listener contribution.
Newbie tips. Because we were all noob once.
Hey Shrevin, hey Warez, it's Cakes again. I'm here to do a newbie tip because I'm hopefully not a newbie anymore because I've been playing Maple for a few years now. But I still do this. My newbie tip is, remember what character you're playing. You don't want to do what I did and be playing your main, which is really high level. Go to your other character, which is like level 8 or whatever. Go someplace really expensive, waste all your money, and then die on a pink teddy. Which, yeah, I kind of did with my level 13 mage. So yeah. Congratulations on everything you did, like with Shraven in your finals. I kind of didn't too well in my finals, I bombed science. But, good job, Warez, on 4th job. And, yeah, hopefully I'll make it onto the show. Bye.
So, newbie tip. Don't forget which character you're playing.
I've done a lot of silly things in Maple Story, but I've never forgotten what character I was playing.
That is something I have not done.
But maybe that's because until recently I haven't developed a lot of different characters. I've been playing one mostly.
I have, a character for each season, and I don't forget.
Awesome. I like your theme.
It's it's a good newbie tip, though. I mean, if you do forget, you could end up screwing yourself over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow. Okay, so
right.
What's next?
You tell me.
I believe we've got another cash shop. Best Buy, number 2.
Hello, it's me again, Nurima, or Nuri for short. I'm back here again for another installment of Cash Shop Best Buy segment. This episode's Best Buy is written by yours truly, which makes it smexier compared to the one written by Daddy Warez on the last episode. Kidding! Going back to the topic, I would like to say something about this week's Cash Shop Best Buy. I should say Best Buys, because I will discuss more than one item. However, I would really like to go into detail about this topic the Nuri way. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the pet along with its looting items. So we all know that the pet is basically useless without its own paraphernalia attached into it. Aside from providing the owner some show-off rights, the pet basically does nothing but follow you around on your every move and consume pet food for a certain amount of time, which costs you 30 mesos per food. Not to mention that buying just the pet itself is somewhat costly. Their prices depend on what kind of pet you would like to get, and they last for 90 days before drying up. Reviving and renaming the pet is a different story, which I will not cover for now, and I will say that they also get pretty expensive. However, this scenario changes as soon as the pet owner buys something to equip for the pet. It could be a specific pet equip such as the red scarf for bunnies, an item pouch, a meso magnet, or something else. These items have their own little help that they offer to you, such as adding speed and or jump when scrolled or looting mesos for you. A pet owner can equip for up to 8, or in some cases 10, pet equips, each with its own purpose. I will only give a brief description for all those items, for it will take me a long time if I do a whole commentary about those items. The first one is the specific pet equipment for the pet. Upon first glance, it is pretty useless because all it does is to decorate up your pet. If you are one of the fancier people around, then you will like your pet equipped with something, compared to completely bland, boring pet. However, as we all know, these items come with slots, which mean we can scroll them with either jump, speed, or even both. For 3 months, the extra speed and or jump boost that they give is pretty helpful. Their prices depend on what item you plan to get, and their prices also depend on how many slots the equipment has. The cheaper ones have 5 scrolling slots, and the more expensive ones have 7 slots. Another one of these pet items is the Auto HP and Auto MP pouch, or simply referred to as the Auto Potters. Just as the name states, these items make your pet consume the specific potion assigned as soon as your HP and or MP level goes below the percentage you have assigned the system to warn you. These items come in very handy on all situations and are a lifesaver most of the time. Notice how I said most of the time. There are several times that the auto potter will not work even if your HP and MP level are already alarmingly low, which in this case you either have to pot yourself or die. This seems to be a glitch that happens all the time, so you still have to watch out for your HP and MP bars just to make sure that your pet is healing you. I have also observed that these auto potters do not work when you encounter a boss that decreases your HP and MP down to 1, such as the Papulatus Claw, so you still have to watch out. But in spite of all these technicalities, the auto potters are still on top of the list of what to put on your pet. And before I forget, one auto potter costs 1,800 NX for 3 months. Now these pair of items is just as important as the auto potters, and they have been in existence longer than the former. These are, of course, the item pouch and the mesomagnet. Now I know that most of us know what these things do, but just let me go over again what they do. The item pouch enables your pet to loot item drops for you when you walk over them and only when you walk over them. The mesomagnet, on the other hand, is pretty self-explanatory. Just as the name says, it enables your pet to loot your meso drops for you. These two items save us tons of time, for walking all over this place while spamming our pickup button to loot takes some time. Now you say, why do we have to get these pet equips when we still have to walk all over the place? The drops have 30 seconds before they disappear, which gives us ample time to move around and get closer, or farther, to the monster that we are killing, thus enabling the pet to loot the drops for us while we attack. Unless you are doing a stationary training such as the Mage spot or the Night Lord Archer spot on Junior Nudies, the pet does the job of looting for us while we go on attacking. And even if we have to walk over the whole array of drops in front of us, the pet still loots the items quicker than we do manually. However, just like the auto potters, these looters have their own flukes. Lately, these items seem to fail on making the pet loot the mesos and item drops right away. There seems to be a delay on this looting action, which forces several pet owners to just pick up the items themselves instead of waiting for the pet. Talking about the price, these two items cost 2,400 NX each for 3 months as well. These two cash shop items are still a must for pet owners, even with the current issue that these looters have. Now you might be thinking, if the item pouch and the mesomagnet both require you and the pet to walk over the spoils in order for the pet to loot, then wouldn't it be quicker if we can just let the pet walk to the spoils by itself while we continue attacking? My answer is, yes, it is quicker and even more time-saving with the wing boots and binoculars. These two items are optional, which means you will still do fine even without these items. But if you are one of the lazier people like me, then I will recommend for you to get these as well. Wing boots enables your pet to walk to the monster spoils by itself, instead of you having to walk over those drops, which again saves you some time. The distance of the wing boots is limited, so to solve this problem, the binoculars come into the scene. Binoculars give your pet a wider range for looting, enabling the pet to loot even more items. Binoculars are especially good when you are a ranged player such as an archer, or a ranged mobber such as an IL. These two items cost 1,800 NX each. They are not necessarily on top of my list for pet equips, but they are still nice to have. Now to the less useful pet equips. Magic Scales for 1,800 NX enables the pet to loot someone else's monster drops as soon as the ownership of the drop expires, which is 11 seconds. The effect only applies if you have mesomagnet and or item pouch equipped. I am quite unsure about the magic scales, because for me they are quite useless. The only reason I buy this for my pet bunny is because I like to see my pet's equip inventory complete, other than looting someone else's monster drops that are left behind. This item is pretty useless and I don't really recommend getting this. And to the most useless pet equipment of all, the pet label ring and the pet name ring. These pet rings are not compatible with all kinds of pets, such as the white bunny. I don't see any point at all in buying these pet rings, because all they do is to fancy up your pet's name label and quote bubble. Unless you have descended to the hell of NX whoredom, then you will also render these two items useless. I realize that the first 8 items are very costly when you buy them all at one time, especially if you are just starting out with your pet. I would suggest getting them one by one, or get them by pairs according to importance, just like how I paired them up. Some people start off with just the autopotters, others start with the item pouch and mesomagnet. However you would like to start it with your pet, it is all up to you. Getting the other equipment is just for fancy, and remember that all of these are optional. But if you are one lazy mapler like I am, then I say get your pet to work.
That was even better than the first one.
Wow, my daughter makes me proud.
Your daughter makes me proud too.
She does good work.
She does.
Awesome.
Well, thank you, Nuri, for another great contribution.
There's a lot to cover there. And I know she purposely let some chunks of that out on purpose, just to keep her from going longer.
But pet information, I mean, when you think about Cash Shop, the first thing you think about is clothes, and the second thing you think about is pets.
Oh, yeah.
And so, I mean, it's great. The whole segment on pets is very useful.
Agreed.
Moving right along, we have yet another newbie tip.
What?
Yeah, we have a lot of those this time around.
Newbie tips. Because we were all noob once.
Welcome to newbie tip number 10. What is that darn light bulb thingy above my head? This question was asked a while ago by Invisiblo, a level 46 bandit from Mardia, amongst many others who've been wondering. It's been quite some time, so I'm guessing he's probably figured it out. But for all the other noob players out there, it might be kind of a puzzling thing when you first see it. Well, that light bulb appears over your head when a new quest is suddenly available for you to do. For example, if you are doing a series of quests, each of which is a prerequisite for the next one, as soon as you turn in one quest, it will trigger the next one and boop, the little light bulb will appear. Simply click on the light bulb and you will get information about the new quest. Yes, it's just that simple.
Cool. It's a little nifty thing that alerts you.
Yep.
So, but it's not just like, you know, when you level and a quest becomes available to you. It's when you actually do something to trigger it?
Right. If you had to do quest number 1 in order to be able to do quest number 2, the light bulb for quest number 2 will appear as soon as you turn in quest number 1.
Huh. That's very interesting. And useful. You can tell it's so late. We're very unresponsive to everything. But guess what? We have more stuff to play. Yeah, but you know, luckily we have awfully loyal listeners who actually take the time to email us and send us voicemails and things like that. And when we get, you know, so we don't actually have to speak about this hotspot. It's actually sent in from John.
Thanks, John.
Yay, you make our lives that much easier.
And what is he gonna? Well, okay, just let it roll. I was gonna make a joke, but I won't. Everybody knows the joke.
We tried, but
everybody knows the joke anyway.
Ah, right. Got it. Well, you can make it afterwards. How's that?
I'll think about it.
All right, cool.
Welcome to Hotspot. Where are you training?
Hello, Shrevin and Warez. This is Yo73, better known as John. I thought I'd drop in on this audio clip and give you guys a hotspot. I want to talk about the straw target dummies, better known as STDs. Weird abbreviation, I know. It's a level 50 monster. It has 3000 HP and 40 MP. It gives 135 EXP per kill, and its meso drop is 200 to, I'd say, about 300. This can be found in Mulong. If you're coming to Mulong from Hack, it should be the first portal on the right. If you're coming from Aqua Road, just keep following all the portals to the right until you hit Practice Field, beginner. And it's a completely flat field. Very good spawn, in my opinion. It's very decent. And if you put your mind to it, you could earn a lot of EXP here. As far as drops go, it'll always be dropping a straw doll. And you could pick up these dolls if you want. Trade them to Mr. Doe in Mulong. It'll give you a Mr. Doe's marble for like 90 to 100, I believe, of these straw dolls. And what you do is, if you accumulate enough of these marbles, you can trade it to him with certain kinds of jewel or mineral ores for scrolls. There's not that many equips that'll drop. Only ones that I've seen are red Pierre shoes, which is a bowman equip, and just it'll drop the occasional sapphire and dex ore. But sometimes it'll drop a helmet, 60% helmet defense and 60% shield defense, 10% crossbow attack. These things are weak to fire, poison, ice, lightning, and holy. They are not affected by heal, so you don't hardly see any clerics here. You will, however, on these maps, see a lot of assassins, warriors, and bowmen. And you'll see the occasional, ice lightning mage pounding at these things. Like I said before, 135 EXP per kill. I think that they're very decent experience. And that's all I have to say about that. Alright, I hope to be on your podcast another time. And this is John, signing out.
Well, thank you, John.
Yes, thank you. And you made my joke for me, so I don't have to say something that's age inappropriate for the show.
We leave that task up to you.
You foul-mouthed listeners.
Alright, so now we're on the home stretch. The semi-home stretch. Because we all know closing statements take 20 minutes, because we're always like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe we'll be snoring by then, so just kind of trail off into nothing.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and play the stinger before we fall asleep.
Okay.
Aqua Radio. Emails.
Well, first up, we have a voicemail from Tyler. And let's go ahead and listen to what he has to say.
Hello? My name is Tyler, and I play on MapleStory's Windia server under the username of NinjaFanXX, and I'm a level 1X. I'd just like to know what your opinion is on Ariant, and if you think it's a good patch. And I'd also like to know what you think about allowing people to get their character on the character cards of MapleStory trading card game. So, thank you, and goodbye.
Well, we already talked about Ariant, so we'll leave that aside for now.
Okay.
But, what do you think about, Maple characters, people's actual characters on Maple ITCG cards?
I think the Warez card will be the most valuable card ever, and people will spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get a copy of that.
So true, but Nexon doesn't know that, and...
Oh, the injustice.
Their loss.
Yeah, I guess. I'm a legend in my own mind.
But, I don't know, it's iffy. I like how they're trying to No, I don't. What all they're doing is like having a contest. I don't even know what it is, but you do something, and if you win, you get your Maple character on a card. Now, like you don't even get to choose I don't believe you get to choose the abilities or anything else on the card. So first of all, you could be highly disappointed about what actually ends up happening.
Okay.
And secondly, I don't even know like why. I mean, it's cool. You make one kid out of 3 billion happy, but like why?
Well, I think it's kind of like the lottery in that everyone thinks it could have been me, so they think it's cool.
Yeah. It's iffy.
It's a neat idea, though.
It's interesting, but I still think there's some underhanded sleaziness to it.
Well,
I just can't place my finger on it.
That is a safe assumption when it comes to Nexon.
But yeah, no. All in all, it is an interesting idea. It kind of brings out a little more competition. But then whoever gets their picture on a card, for all you know, Nexon's gonna make the card so rare that for anyone to actually get it, it's gonna be expensive. And then for the kid whose face or whose character is actually on it, for him to get it, it's gonna be expensive for him as well, because he's gonna be buying booster packs to try to get his face.
Probably. I can't believe that they wouldn't give him a complimentary copy of his own card, though. That'd be so cheap if they didn't.
They're usually good about that. You're right. So I don't know. I like the concept, but I'm still wary about it.
I don't blame you either.
So that's my 2 bits. And that concludes the 21 different audio segments that we have on this here episode.
Thank you very much, Engineer Cravella.
Cravella? What, is that like Shreven and Cruella? Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I kind of, sorry about that. Brain fart.
Thanks.
I could see it in my mind what I was trying to say. It was right in my mind. It's just, it's real early in the morning, what could I say?
Yeah, I don't blame you. But yeah, no, guys, definitely thank you for all the emails and the voicemails. And I haven't read the emails. Let's do that first.
Okay. Should I go first?
Yeah, if you so desire.
Okay. The first email is from Turson. Dear Warez and or Trevin. Huh?
Yeah, Trevin.
Trevin?
Alright, okay. I can live with that.
I apologize if I spelled your name incorrectly. Well, at least he apologized. That is a first.
Yes,
okay.
that is a first, actually.
Okay. I am sorry to say, but I am, in capital letters, addicted to Aqua Road Radio! And about 10,000 exclamation points.
You gotta have the 10,000 exclamation points.
Of course. So, I'm not sure I understand, Turson. Are you trying to imply that this is a bad thing?
Do you want us to stop? I mean, we could, I guess.
Okay. He goes on to say, I can never get enough of listening to you guys. Your tips are extremely helpful. Your latest podcast was a phenomenon of help. Okay, dude, that's not even an English word. I don't know what he...
What is... I'm going to look this up.
Phenomenon. A phenomenon of help. I can't even pretend that's an English word. Okay, going back to the addiction part. Were you addicted to MapleStory at lower levels, or could you control yourself from spending hours and hours staring into a screen? Personally, I myself am still addicted and find it quite hard to leave the computer desk. Do you have any tips whatsoever to help those who are addicted, including me, to control ourselves on the amount of time we play? From
Turson,
a.k.a. Trevor on Real Life, level 41 on the Barra server. It would be awesome to hear from you guys on this topic on your next podcast. P.S. Warez rocks your socks. Yes, I do. And P.S.S. Woot woot for Trevin. Wow, okay.
Yay, Trevin.
Trevin.
Go Trevin.
Go Trevin. Do you know what have you found out what a phenomenon is?
Yeah, Google results in 0 search results. Not a single one. No one has ever used that on the internet anywhere.
Crazy, man. I would lay good money that's not a proper word in any language. Dude, Turson, what are you trying to say, man?
I like it, though. We should use it more often.
Okay.
Phenomenon?
Yeah. Okay.
Phenomenon?
Yeah, okay.
Whatever.
I'm going to be thinking...
Send us a voicemail.
Yes, I'm going to be thinking about this for quite some time.
Awesome.
But let us address the point of the email, which is...
All right.
What did you...
I completely say that you set, goals for yourself. Well, not goals, limits. Set specific limits for yourself. Like you're only going to play a couple hours every day, and stick to those. And if you're really that addicted to MapleStory, reward yourself, like, I don't know, cookies or something fun for meeting the results for a whole week. Set yourself limits. Go hang out with friends in real life. Real life keeps you from Maple. Quite
Correct.
a bit, actually.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. The human animal is a funny beast. We can find a way to get addicted to almost anything.
You remind me of National Geographic Channel.
So yeah, addiction. If we were talking about addiction here, not cool, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
You need to take a break. Do something like stay off Maple for a good long while.
Do something like stay off Maple.
Yeah, stay off Maple.
If worst comes to worst, you can always get your you can always like call up Nexon and request a ban or something like that.
They used to do that. Remember back in the days, like a
year
ago.
Parents used to be able to call up and give temp bans for their kids.
Oh, really? They used to do that. Mm-hmm. But I remember back long time ago when there were actual GMs in the game.
When they cared?
Yeah, when they cared, and you could actually smega and say, GM, I've got finals in 2 weeks. Please temp ban me, and they'd actually do it.
Yeah, they're like considerate to your needs. What? Since when?
Yeah. Now, people have often accused me of being addicted, and sometimes I joke about being addicted. I play a lot.
Yeah.
But am I addicted? I don't know. I can walk away from it. I can shut it off, and...
Isn't that what all the addicts say? I mean, like...
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I'm sorry, but...
I guess that's true. I guess that's not a point. Well, the thing is, I have responsibilities. I have my job, I have my family, and they always come first, and that kind of slaps me with the real-life gauntlet of challenge there, I suppose, in a way. And that kind of knocks me back to reality a lot of times. And I guess that's a good thing. I think we said it maybe 5-6 episodes ago, maybe, or yeah, limits are a good thing.
Right. Make sure you have your priorities down, because frankly, I get really addicted to Maple too. I mean, there were points, summer of last year, I definitely played over 9 hours a day for like 3 months straight. It was really sad because I was taking summer classes and just to get ahead, but ended up getting out of class at like noon and getting on Maple at 1 and playing till like 4 the next morning. Good times. Crazy, man, crazy. Yeah.
I've read that can lead to severe depression. So don't live.
I can testify that it does lead to severe depression.
Don't live your life online.
Yeah, definitely. It seems to me that a lot of people do use Maple as a some sort of escapism.
Well, occasional escapism is fine, but
true. It's harmless occasionally, and it's fun even. But if you kind of disregard all your friends in real life and don't do anything but sit in your room and play Maple for hours on end, then you're not really experiencing much of anything.
If you react like a vampire when you go out and the sun actually touches your skin, you're probably playing Maple too much.
Yeah,
the
about
sun,
that.
It burns me.
Sunlight, it's too bright. Can't handle it. But yeah, so tips on ways to stop other than setting limits for yourself if that doesn't work. Get your friends to slap you around. I mean, I'm sure, like, everyone else wants to go hang out and, go play some sport, football, soccer, whatever you do.
Your parents, as a resort of last, a cause of last resort, they could actually install software on your computer that will limit
your internet access.
Yep.
That's always, definitely a last option. So.
And your parents would actually respect you for the maturity displayed in saying, I need to help. I need help in controlling myself here.
Yeah, but who wants that?
I know. That's why I said it was a last resort. I understand how young people think.
How young people think?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because I'm ancient.
Right, of course. I didn't want to say it, but you said it, so it's okay now.
I'm like the 10,000-year-old man. I'm like the crypt keeper. I'm definitely going to feel like the crypt keeper tomorrow.
Okay, last email to get through. We're borderline 3 hours. Alright, okay. So, next email we have is by Nick. Nick says, Hey Shrevin and Warez. First, let me say welcome back. This is to... Is that Fook? F-O-O-K?
Yeah. We know what he's trying to say.
Yes.
You think you're clever with this IGN.
You know what? You can just be Nick.
Yeah. You're Nick.
Where was I? This is Nick from the Bora server. Level 71 Dragon Knight. I just made Dragon Knight 3 days ago. You, sir, are way too addicted to Maple.
Good lord.
I have a question for both of you. How do you feel about buying Zachem helms from guilds for good amounts of mesos? Some people say that you should earn the helmet, but, this isn't an option for some of the lower level people. Z-helms are almost required for warriors because warriors have low accuracy, and the Z-helm adds about 40 accuracy, which can, help warriors train a lot. And so just wondering what you guys think.
I had an email about this quite some time ago, which I answered separately from the podcast. It wasn't exactly the same question. Now this Nick is asking about whether you should earn it or buy it.
Yes.
Now, even if you're a regular runner, you're still most likely in most situations you're going to pay some. You have to be really tight with the organizers in order to just say, okay, we'll let you reloot. But I don't think there's anything wrong with buying one. No.
I don't think there's anything wrong with buying one either. But, I mean, it depends. There's always a limit. Don't make sure you're not spending, you say a good amount of mesos. Make sure you're not spending too much.
Can it make a difference? It can. If you get it at a low level, you'll notice it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The higher you go, the less it means. To some extent, it's just a status symbol.
Definitely. At level 71, I'd say being a Dragon Knight, you're not gonna have trouble. You're a Dragon Knight, first of all. You're most likely partying with priests and kicking butt, taking names. So yeah, priests have bless. It's gonna give you another 20 accuracy. I wouldn't be too worried about it. For you currently.
Right. Now, if you are there are limits for most squads. You have to be like level 110 for most mages and attackers. Priests are allowed in usually around level 100. So sometimes there's more. That's right. There's another advantage right there. So.
I'm really bad at bossing. I really am. The whole thing that they do that gets your HP and MP down to 1 kills me every time.
Yeah, that takes a lot of getting used to. You got 3 seconds to react in most situations. You'd better react.
Yeah, and you can't lag either.
Now, I've also gotten emails about buying or selling of Z-helms in general. Isn't that a bad thing? Isn't Nexon against that?
Why?
Well, they say it limits access. Now, a lot of people who are looking at the amount of money it takes feel that it's very unfair, and they look at a system like that's been traditionally run through the scheduling system set up on SleepyWood and say that's not fair. These people have just basically monopolized everything. Well, my answer to that runs something like this. Yes, they have a schedule, and yes, they will be very unhappy with you if you try to break through that schedule. The thing is, the schedule does have a certain number of time slots that are open for anyone to give it a try if they really want to. But think about it this way: these guilds and regular running groups, they're almost all of them, almost without exception, they're all legit. This is one situation in the game that I know of where legits can actually lock out hackers. By monopolizing the altar, like the runs do, they can keep the hackers out. Now, sometimes the hackers can get in anyway, in various situations. And then they'll sit there and they'll hold it sometimes for days. I've talked about this before. And until a GM finally wakes up and they ban the fool. But for the most part, it's one of the only situations in which legits can actually have the advantage over hackers. I think it's a good thing for the most part. And the money you pay, you might go, 45 million? Are you out of your mind for a helm? Yeah, you got like 20 to 30 people there. They're attacking this big boss, and they're blowing a ton of pots. They're not doing that out of the goodness of their hearts, my friend. I'm sorry, they're not. They need to get paid. They need to get paid to blow all those pots. They need to get paid to show up on time. And if you're only paying, like, say, 20 or 30 million, that organizer is losing money on you. Trust me.
Yeah, definitely. Potions run expensive when you need to spam them like crazy.
Yep.
And these aren't the red potions that we were talking about earlier.
No. These are the best Mesos can buy.
Are we done?
Could be.
We're done. Well, we're not done. We're almost done. So,
holy crap.
So, for closing notes, as a semi-side note / random topic / whatever.
That's a lot of flashes.
Yeah, there'd be more if I could think clearly. But, yeah, I was just curious on thinking about making some Aqua Road t-shirts. And I was curious on who and how many and all that number stuffs are actually interested.
That's right. And we'd only charge $150 for each. Oh, maybe not. Maybe like a tenth of that.
Probably a little less than that too.
Maybe even less. But here, we'll pay you to take one. Please wear it.
Yeah, we're not that desperate.
No, okay, we're not.
But anyway, we were thinking that if you guys are interested in t-shirts, we could get some made, and we'd have well, first of all, we'd want to know if you guys are interested, and then if you were, we'd like to have some kind of contest where you guys would submit art, and the best art would go on the t-shirt somewhere, and the winner of the contest would win a free t-shirt, and everyone else would be welcome to buy one. And we're hoping to actually use the profits toward a new server, because our site is actually currently hosted off of unreliable sources.
Yes, let's just leave it at that.
So, I mean, we need to move, and so basically we need places. We need a place online to store all these audio files, and so we need to raise money for that. And we feel that t-shirts would be a good way.
It's worth thinking about anyway.
And just want to know. I mean, this is very basic. That's far in the future. So, We're just trying to figure out who's interested and how many people would be interested in buying it.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Anything you wanted to add as a closing note, Warez?
No. I'm gonna pull an all-nighter. I'm not even gonna try to sleep.
Do you just want to talk for another like 2 hours and?
Well, maybe not. But I'm probably not gonna sleep either.
Definitely not.
To try to sleep now would make a mockery of restfulness, so I'm not going to.
What do we get? Like 2 hours, maybe 3.
I've got to get
Something
up
like that.
in maybe 50 minutes.
What? Oh, you wake up at like 5?
Yes, I do.
I can't do that.
I'm not exactly conscious, but I'm walking around.
There's no point in sleeping.
I'm not a sentient being when I get up that early, but I am walking around and doing things.
Alright, guys. Well, our website, as you all should know, and probably do know, and if you don't, know it now, it's Aqua Road Radio at wordpress.com.
Tattoo that on the inside of your eyelids.
And on pretty much everything else you own and have.
Do it now!
Yeah, write it on your computer screens and all that good stuff. Don't forget it. Bookmark it. Look at it. I mean, it's just a website every morning. Also, our email is aquaroadradio@gmail.com. And keep in mind that we have ways for you guys to send us voicemails if you are so interested and inclined. On our website, under the Contact Us link, which should be in the sidebar to the right currently, it actually has MyChingo, which is this little Java program that if you have a mic, you can plug it into your computer and just speak into it. And I believe it has a 2-minute time limit. I'm not completely sure about that. But we also have a phone number. It's a voicemail box, so you can go ahead and call that, leave us a message using your phone, and hopefully we could get your voice up here. And of course, you can always email us. Am I missing anything? Oh, and definitely feel free to record your voice in a WAV or MP3 file and just email that to us directly.
Right.
That works too.
Right. So you can send us just about anything. Hey, make up a song. Sing Maple song. Anything that's related to MapleStory, send it to us. We'll listen to it. It may even make it onto the podcast.
I want to hear a Maple song now. Yeah. Someone do one. I'd be excited.
Also, we're talking about the website. I just wanted to put a little thing in there. I added a feature underneath the episode timer. It's actually a quick little news, like 1 or 2 lines that will give you an update on what's going on in between episodes.
What else? Nothing else? Too brain dead to think. I know there's something else. The t-shirt thing, if you're interested, or if you're not, just drop us an email. Put t-shirts in the subject title, if you remember. It'll just help us consolidate all the votes, and hopefully we'll actually see what happens. Okay. I'm curious myself.
If we do this sort of thing, we should make the finances completely transparent.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
As in, no.
Well, I don't want people to think like we're gonna make some money off of this or something like that. It's going to pay for everything that is made off of it's going to go to pay for the podcast.
Right.
And I just want that to be absolutely clear to everybody.
I also need to find out how we can get our hands on actual sponsors. I know you can get companies to sponsor you. I just don't know how. We need to look into that.
Ads on the website. There.
True. Well, anyway, we'll look into that, and we're going to go to bed, and you guys are going to listen to this 3 days from now and be like, holy it's so long. I can't say that. I'm going to cut that out. Edit. Anyway.
Oh my bleeping God.
Yeah, good night.
See you guys.